I hate all the teams in our division. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking hate them all. Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs, hate them. One time, Derek Carrier comes off, one of the nicest dudes on the planet. But Derek Carrier
right?
blocks, tight end. He blocked a punt, and he was fucking, had an outer body experience. He's loser's mind, he's so happy. And he goes up to Rich and pushes him on the sideline. And Rich low-key got caught off guard. Rich turned and fucking closed fist with a helmet and socked him. Right in the fucking, bro, they caught this shit in slow motion on TV. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Honestly, the one thing that I knew deep down in my soul that was holding me back from being my full potential, the best version of myself, was my partying. Like, I was always, like, even in high school and college, like, I don't even know how the fuck I was able to do some of the shit. I had 10 sacks a rookie, bro, and I was going hard. Like, I really don't know, but it also is like, it's God at the same time, like, looking out for me, because I knew deep down, like, there was a better version of myself out there. I just had to really look myself in the mirror and say, fuck it, like, I'm done with this shit. They kidnapped my ass, took me to Hollywood. Rest is history. It's been almost 5 years now, so
coming up on 5 years.
It's crazy,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Coming up 5 years. Yeah, but
awesome,
it was the best thing I ever did, bro. Like, I knew deep down my whole life, like, this is what's holding me back from being what I want to be, where I'm at now and where I'm going. Like,
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Verse Us with Eric Nicksick. He is Eric Nicksick. I am Randy Fainrich, and this is Verse Us. And today, man, today's a real special episode. Not only are we joined by the captain of Extreme Couture, the co-host for today, Brad Tavares, but today we are joined by one of the baddest men in the National Football League. He's a multiple-time All-Pro, multiple-time Pro Bowler, should have been DPOY last year. They got it wrong. It's okay. Will be a future DPOY winner. Ladies and gentlemen, defensive end for the Las Vegas Raiders and host of The Rush with Maxx Crosby. Maxx Crosby, welcome to the show,
baby.
Appreciate it, boys.
Yeah, what's
great
going on?
great entrance. That was good shit. That might have been the best one yet.
I appreciate that.
I
I've been
appreciate
working
it, brother.
on
It's good to be here with you guys.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think first things first, we want to start with last night, BKFC, amazing card. Announced recently that you're an investor and now a minority owner in BKFC. We'll talk about the card in a second, but kind of how did that come about? What was it like getting into BKFC?
Yeah, it was kind of random. You know, I've been watching from a distance for a long time. Obviously, you guys know I'm a huge fight fan. Been involved with combat sports, whether it's being a fan or training or whatever it is, since I was a little kid. So, yeah, you know, for me, I've always not just, you know, I want to be the best in whatever I do. So, like, when it comes to football and training, like, I'm all fucking in. So, in the business side of things, I've really been tapping into that the last few years, and there's a lot of business adventures I've been exploring, and equity is everything to me. You know, a lot of people like the quick money and, you know, do shit like that. I was doing that when I was young, like in the league, just get my quick, you know, show appearance, stuff like that. But
playing
that's
the long
really,
game
now it's just about like, all right, let's look at the longevity of things. And then whether that's, you know, real estate, like I own a lot of land in Michigan, whether it's franchising, Papa John's, I own 20 Papa John's here in Vegas.
Oh, really?
It's a lot of things, you know what I mean? So BKFC was another opportunity, kind of just came to the table. And it's about relationships to me, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people care, you know, everybody thinks about the money first, but like for me, it's about building that relationship. And, you know, a lot of people know like Dana and Hunter Campbell are really, you know, good friends of mine. And just seeing how they move and operate and kind of being able to shadow them. I've traveled with them to London. I've been with them to Miami. I've been all over the place with those guys and seeing what they've done with the UFC. When the BKFC thing kind of, you know, came to the forefront, I was like, maybe I kind of want to get involved. So I just started having conversations. Derek Fay, another big investor in the company, David Feldman, Conor McGregor, all those guys. I love the people behind it, and it was a great opportunity. So first and foremost, the product is the number one thing to me. And just seeing the event last night in Philly, being able to sell out the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Fight Town, it was one of the best cards I've seen, and probably the best one in BKFC history. There was knockout after knockout, straight entertainment. You got Jeremy Stevens in the main event. Ben Rothwell, former
underdog.
He was an
Called out
underdog.
Francis.
He calls out Francis.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the best.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the best dudes on the mic. He cracks cracks me up, bro.
Yeah.
But he went out there, got a knockout, and now he's the champion at heavyweight. So just seeing where the sport's going and how fast it's growing, it's incredible. So I wanted to be a part of that, and I'm really excited about where we're going.
Yeah, and did I read that they broke the gate record for any MMA or so UFC's record, boxing record, right?
Yep, smashed it.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, man.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I don't understand guys like PFL or GFL or any FLs. Like, BKFC is copying UFC's playbook. Like, it feels like from an outside, and someone who used to work at UFC knows how the promotion goes, the marketing goes. Like, they're just like copying the playbook, and it's working.
Sure.
Like, put the dudes in those markets, in the fights. Like, let them. They sell their own tickets. I think to an extent, some of those fighters, like they do it right.
Well, I think sometimes people are too prideful and they want to do it their own way and carve their own path, which it might work.
Yeah.
But when it's tried and true and it's already been done, right? Follow the lead.
And they're not trying to be UFC.
No,
they're trying
right,
to be bare knuckle, and it's
100%.
like perfect.
It's crazy too how many athletes I see that are transition MMA guys going into BKFC that are like, man, this dude would have thrived better had he been in this sport a long time ago.
Yeah.
Mike Perry being one of them. You know what I mean?
100%.
That dude
Jeremy
is-
Stevens perfect for
Jeremy
BKFC.
Stevens,
perfect.
it makes too much sense. Even Ben Rothwell, I was going to stand and bang the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, it's pure entertainment, and that's what I love about it is, and I think the fans are loving about it. There's no chance for a bad fight. Like it really, every fight last night was fireworks, and they just keep getting better and better. And that's the main thing and objective is just continuing to get better and better fighters in the ring. And it's entertainment. People go in there with one mission, and that's to put on a show. And I love it. I love what I'm seeing so far for sure.
I think from a legal standpoint, Francis should stay the fuck away.
No, bro.
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. If you got Francis in there, it would be scary. Yeah, that would be.
Do that?
What?
Bare knuckle. Your face is too pretty though.
Yeah. Pay me. Bro, it's funny because everybody will always ask, like, oh, you would do that? And I'm like, yeah, if the fucking money was right.
The money was right.
Because,
Hell
bro,
yeah.
I hurt my hands in training all the time with gloves on. Like, I couldn't even, like, bro, I guarantee it would break my fucking
Because
hands.
all it is the wrist wrapped, right? Pretty much.
Bro, it's like gauze.
Yeah, basically.
Let's put a piece of gauze on you. Okay, your hands.
That's how Maki wraps his hands anyway.
Yeah, that's how Maki wraps his hands anyway.
Yeah. The injuries, though, I'll say this: the one thing about I think it's a misconception about what we're doing is like people think the injuries are like out of the roof just because you see people's faces all fucking tore up, but the injury rate is not nearly as bad. The amount of broken hands is lower than the average in the UFC. Like. You can't just go in there and swing balls to the wall. You have to be. You can't be reckless. You'll fucking break your hand. You have to be, strategic about it. You know what I mean? You can't just
cuts then, huh?
Yeah,
I think
it's
more
like
about the
superficial.
visual. Yeah, the visual of it. But like concussion rate is lower than a lot of the fighting leagues like PFL, UFC, things like that. David Feldman, we could pull up the clip or whatever. But
we have less injuries than any other combat sport out there. It looks gory. It's bloody. We have less concussive and subconcussive damage, less facial fractures, even less hand breaks. We do have more blood. We have more cuts. You go in there with a bare knuckle, you get hit, you get cut. They see the blood, but they're not taking the continual head trauma, the continual pounding on the head. They're just not taking it. They just don't throw as hard. They don't throw as many. The fights are shorter. So everything is in the favor of a little bit more safety with bare knuckle, which you would never think, right? You just wouldn't think it.
he just went on a whole thing like breaking stats down about the injury rate. It looks crazy and it sounds crazy because it's bare knuckle, but real injury, it's actually a lot lower than people.
That one
know.
homeboy last night, that bald dude with the white dude with the beard got sent to the fucking shadow.
Oh
realm.
my god,
Yeah, dude, that was bad. That was bad. He was one on the scale. Did you guys see that?
He
clip?
was shaking.
Oh, bro, he was on the scale. He was like doing the whole Connor thing, like shaking.
Wait, who do you fight though? Who?
I don't know, some black dude. I
yeah,
forgot his name.
he
but,
slapped him, bro.
45
got
hit so
seconds.
hard, his head did like a, and then he fell backward. It was bad.
What
I gotta
what weight
show
is
you.
it?
I gotta pull this up real quick.
Vic, can you pull that
shit
clip?
up. I'll show
up,
Brad
please.
This shit is wild.
Yeah, it was, and he was
It
talking
was
like
so
mad
bad.
shit.
You got that clip? Let me
Yeah,
show you. I think
Vic's gonna
it's-
pull it up and put it on the screen right now.
Oh, we got the screen right here.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit is so bad. God, I'm forgetting. Don't put me on here because I'm
Bro, just
sound
put
bad.
white guy, Philly,
just put
BKFC,
BKFC.
South
put,
Philly murder.
I think the hashtag was KM5. Yeah, watch it. Watch his head. Look at his foot.
Oh,
his
yeah,
head
he
went
did do
around
like
the
a
clock,
pirouette.
bro.
Oh.
I honestly thank God them ropes were there because if he hits the
God
canvas like that,
damn.
it could be.
Yeah,
It could have
bad.
been real bad.
That was early stoppage.
God. Early
Oh
stoppage.
yeah, the fucking rope caught him.
No, literally.
Steve Mazzagatti thinks it's an early stoppage.
Yeah,
Early stoppage.
yeah, it was quick.
Mark
Yeah.
Smith would have let it go.
Yeah.
Had to.
Oh man. So staying in MMA or staying in combat, I should say. You know, obviously you're a big MMA fan. You watched the fight last weekend with Islam and Moicano. And
Oh yeah, I
Merab
was
and-
there.
Oh,
I
were
was
you?
there with Dana and those guys. Yeah,
Nice.
it was a blast, bro.
Bro,
That card was
Merab
sick.
Umar fight was incredible.
Bro, Merab is
Bro, it's
he's
crazy
so nice,
that
bro.
Merab was the dog in that fight to me.
Huge
It was
dog.
so disrespectful.
Huge dog.
No, that was a great. I
Yeah.
mean, hey, that was
Plus
great.
235.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Might
crazy.
have been good for your point.
Yeah.
If you bet it by decision,
yeah.
it was plus 330.
It was plus 330.
Yeah, exactly.
Just might happen
You
to
know
know
what I
that. Yeah, that was like I was telling Eric, like, if I'm explaining MMA to someone and they've never seen it for the first time, like that type of high level match is like what I want to show them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, it was incredible.
I don't
man.
understand the argument for people having Umar win that fight.
No chance.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I mean, I got him 1-2. I seen that, but I mean,
You
there
could
was a
even make an
lot of-
argument. Merab won one of the first 2 rounds.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I think he won the
it
second
could have been
round.
4-1.
Yeah,
Merab, honestly.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. man.
But him showboating at the end in like rounds
yeah.
4 and 5 was awesome. You could see Umar visibly like
Yeah.
deteriorate, getting tired, depleting. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a mental side to that,
Oh,
right?
100%.
There's
Yeah.
they're like, dude, how do I get this guy? And then we said that. We
Yeah.
talked about this. You got to put a hole through Merab's head
Yeah.
to get him out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he's still standing there and he's still bouncing, he's still trying to take your ass down.
Yeah.
And then he's laughing at you and
Yeah.
he's punking you. Right.
And also, I don't know if people understand like him. All those attempts of him shooting, like he's not even trying to get you down. I feel like he's just shooting on
Making you
Umar
pummel.
to
Wearing
make you
your ass
pummel,
down.
Make you pummel,
put you
make
in the
you-
Bro, he's
cage.
just making you work.
yeah.
The dude
He's
shot
just
like
keeping
100
you-
times.
Yeah, he's just keeping you guessing. Like
Yeah.
what it is that he never lets you get comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even if you go up against a superior fighter, wherever it is, like striker, or even if you're the ground guy and you cannot get him down, you know what I mean? Like that starts. It's like what Eric was just saying. It's that mental game, and he's constantly doing that to you. And Umar is fucking super well rounded. You know, very good himself.
What's up, guys? Thank you for watching the show. I appreciate all the comments, all the love, all the support. But if there's anything we can do better, if there's guests you want to see coming on, let us know. Put it in the comments. Tell us what we can do. Now, back to the show.
But bro, he never went up against a Merab.
Yeah.
Like that would suck.
Bro,
Like, you-
Merab's resume is insane.
Insane.
Ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah,
I don't know
no.
who he fights next. Like Jan, maybe rematch or
Honestly, you ready for this?
O'Malley, please, not again.
Patchy.
Are they going to
Patchy.
sign Patchy?
Bro, this is the
That would
only
be
fight that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Patchy would be incredible.
Is Patchy is the best bantamweight in the world. And
Yeah.
listen, I love Merab. He's our boy.
Yeah.
But I've seen those rounds.
Yeah.
I know how those rounds go.
Yeah.
When Patchy goes with Merab, I've seen him.
Man,
And
Patchy in
I
the
just
UFC
think
would
if the
be
UFC
incredible, bro.
was smart and they wanted to make this bantamweight division the best in the world,
Yeah.
you bring Patchy Mix over from no longer Bellator.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
did they
He's in
release
limbo,
him?
dude.
He's in limbo,
The
yeah.
best
Yeah.
fucking bantamweight in the world
Yeah.
is in limbo, sitting in limbo. And if the UFC wants the best matchups, that's Patchy versus Merab.
Yeah.
You want to say style versus style, that's the fight.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you want
He's
to
in
take
the
Patchy
prime.
down, it's like taking yourself down, and you
Yeah.
might get your ass choked out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that, it's the best matchup for both guys.
Bro, the only other big fight they could try to do like around that, but they wouldn't fight each other. I don't think is him and Elio.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
Yeah, they
100% they
wouldn't
would.
fight each other.
He wouldn't
Yeah.
fight. He wouldn't fight Aljo. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
He's probably not
so
gonna fight.
Topuria him.
I don't think that goes well
Yeah,
either.
Topuria is like his Georgian brother, so
Yeah.
I don't see it.
That
That would be a
motherfucker's
fucking banger, though.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
would be
Yeah,
incredible.
those two. That would be insane.
What do you think's next for Islam?
I mean, I don't know. That's a
wants.
great question. I,
think
mean,
that's
whoever
more,
he
to
wants.
me, more of like the question mark.
Arman.
Well,
I mean,
no,
Saru-
bro, they're not
but
going to
he's
give
not.
him Arman.
Yeah, they're not happy. I don't
Or
know
Chucky
Not happy.
Allen.
what transpired.
Yeah, what
but
happened exactly?
He can't. They're not happy.
don't know.
I,
Said he's back.
I think he
Missed weight.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Because
Had
Dana's
to.
never came out and been like, yo, dude.
Bro,
back
he
in the
was
line.
looking
Yeah,
like
no.
fucking Aquaman at one point. The
Yeah.
motherfucker was huge.
that's he looked.
he was so
great.
shredded.
shredded out the
They were
gills,
showing
but
him like what 2 weeks out,
Yeah,
3 weeks
he had
out.
to have been too much over.
had
over
to. And he pulled out right before the fight. It wasn't like the week before or nothing. It was like literally 36 hours before the fight, he's like, I'm out. So
Crazy.
That video of him spitting on his head.
yeah, with Nina, I've
Yeah.
seen that. I'm like,
But you know who does that too is Valentina. I've seen that before.
Yeah,
There's
you know,
some- there's
it's a
some-
right. I mean, it's not a. It's. Here's what I feel like.
Yeah.
They pinned it on an injury.
Yeah, I think so.
And like
Yeah.
what we're saying, this
Yeah.
dude was probably not going to make weight, but then all of a sudden he was injured, kind of thing. There's a
Yeah.
reason why. We all know Dana.
Yeah.
There's more encrypted words when he's like, "Yo, dude, back of the bus,"
Yeah.
than it was an unfortunate injury.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's more to that.
Right.
To
Like
me,
when it was
100%.
who got hurt day before? Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Remember he tripped on the fucking
Yeah.
cord?
yeah,
Who was he out?
yeah,
I was
fucking
there.
crazy.
Crazy,
That shit
bro.
was insane.
But I
Yeah.
think honestly, I think that the Islam and Khabib camp, you've seen them be a little bit more vocal about, he'll move up and fight, fight Bilal.
Yeah.
Because I think they're trying to almost kind of make it okay.
Yeah.
Where Bilal's like, I don't want to fight my
yeah,
we're all,
guy
we
I
all train
trained
together.
with, and
Man,
Muslim brother. And,
You're in the group.
but you're not in the group.
You ain't in the
yeah,
group.
yeah. They all have
You're
a
in the
separate
group.
group chat without
Yeah.
you in it for
100%.
sure.
But you're not from the mountains of
Yeah.
Dagestan.
But
Yes.
I
Different
honestly,
animals.
I would lean towards Bilal in that fight.
Yeah, I would too.
I would lean
I
towards
would
Bilal
too.
in that fight.
Wow.
I think Islam fights probably Oliveira again.
Yeah.
You know, I think that makes the most sense. Or Michael Chandler, just so Chandler can shut the fuck up.
Bro,
bro.
they does not deserve that
Please shut
shit.
the fuck up,
Yeah.
bro. Please.
Mike Chandler, he's gonna put on a show.
He
That's
will
for
put
sure.
on a
show.
That's for
He's
sure.
gonna put on a show, but I don't like that matchup.
No,
at all.
I don't
I
think
think Charles is the
does.
best right now. Charles is
Yeah.
probably the best matchup.
Yeah.
It's a tough. Throw anybody in there with
Islam.
somebody that can wrestle at that level. You look at it's the same thing with Merab.
Yeah.
Umar's Dagestan. Those dudes are the best of the best wrestling, and Merab wore his ass down. So
You know what I
yeah.
see about a lot of those guys is like when you're playing a Mystique like a Alabama or a you're playing like the legacy, the mystiqueness of them.
Yeah.
Right? So like when you're fighting like Islam or Umar,
Yeah,
you have
it's a
Khabib,
boogeyman.
you have Javier, you're like, oh dude, like you're expected to lose.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
people buy into that shit. Like you're playing more of the legacy rather than the team that's in front of you.
Yeah.
And I think more and more guys, like Paul Hughes yesterday, is like, I don't give a fuck about
That dude
Umar,
is
like,
badass.
yeah, dude.
Paul
like,
Hughes is a bad
Usman, and I don't
motherfucker.
care about these
Yeah.
guys. Like they don't give a fuck anymore. They're going
Yeah.
out there and trying to put holes through these dudes' heads.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Let's transition over to you. You know, obviously season cut short for you. How's kind of that whole rehab process coming? How you feeling? How's the off season so far?
It's been great. Obviously, unfortunate how it happened. I mean, you get two bad high ankle sprains in the same year. It's a motherfucker. You know what I mean? I was playing through it for weeks. One of the more difficult things I've dealt with being a defensive end, you're trying to set an edge every play and pass rush and bend the same, and it's just not the same. You know what I mean? So I'm more proud of anything just being able to fight through it. You know what I mean? With all the ups and downs, and obviously the season not going the way it's supposed to. You know, we've had 4 different quarterbacks. New offensive coordinator. There's just so much shit going on, and it just didn't go the way we expected it. But I fought my fucking ass off. I've fought a lot of battles behind closed doors. Dealing with the ankle and going through it. So I'm doing incredible. About 6 weeks out of surgery. I'm walking now. I've been lifting last few weeks in the building every single day, rehab and lifting, doing what I do. So I've been in an incredible space. So, obviously it's been an interesting offseason. AP gets fired.
Yeah.
Telesco gets fired. Literally, they cleared the whole house out. So it's been a little weird. I'm not going to lie over there.
Yeah.
How is that? Like, I often wondered, because the NFL by nature, there's not a lot of stability, right? People come and go every year. It happens, whatever. But like, in your guys' case, you in particular, I can think of 4 coaches in the 6 years you've been in the league, 5 coaches,
5,
not even
yeah.
including position coaches, just head coaches,
Yeah.
GMs, quarterbacks, like you mentioned. Like, how tough is that to try to get a rhythm, not only to win games, but like camaraderie in the locker room, like, just overall trying to like get into a rhythm as a team when you have that much turnover?
Well, you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just realistically, you can't. It's tough. Like when I first got in the league, it was 2019. We had Coach Gruden, and he had just, the year before, just got signed to a 10-year, $100 million deal. So like their plan was, okay, this is our plan of stability.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the same guy. We're gonna build up. You're going to draft your players, do it how you want to do it. And we were doing that. You know, obviously the Khalil Mack thing happened. We got 3 first-round picks from that, all type of shit. So Gruden was building it, and we were getting better every single year. Unfortunately, things didn't turn out. You know what I mean? The whole thing went down. Then he gets fired. Bisaccia. I know. It's just
Was that the year
crazy,
you guys
bro.
had 10 wins?
Yeah, we made the playoffs that year.
Playoffs, bro.
Rich
wild card.
Bisaccia steps in, and Rich was incredible. I love that dude. We talk damn near every day to this day. But he steps in. We, still make it to the playoffs. We took the Bengals right down to the last play of the game. And it just, our culture, there was a lot of bullshit. But just the culture we built, like, we were all guys that came together in the league together. We were in our 3rd season. We were so tight-knit and all the shit that we went through. That was like, we felt like, okay, we've just been getting better and better every year. We're going in the right direction. All of our players that got drafted, me, Josh Jacobs, all of us, we were like ascending and going into that next realm. And like, we all wanted Rich back. You know what I mean? That was what we thought was going to happen. He was in-house already. We're going to keep building this motherfucker. They didn't see it the same way. We bring in Josh McDaniels. We knew how that went.
He's fucking steaming right now.
No, I'm just saying.
Steaming, bro.
No, I'm just saying. I'm gonna say this too. I'm not nothing against Josh. Like, my relationship with Josh McDaniels. I know a lot of people have their opinions, but like, I love that dude. Me and him have been. He was fucking great to me. So, but he's a great offense coordinator. It didn't work as a head coach, and we went downhill again. So it's like, we're going in the right direction, and then going into my 4th year, we cleaned the whole fucking house out again, and I'm like, damn. Like, my whole D-line's gone again.
Yeah.
Everybody's gone, besides a few key pieces, but doesn't go the way we wanted. And then he gets fired a year and a half later. Yeah. And we bring in AP. We have a little bit of, we have that run at the end of the year. And the culture, like, everyone was so bought into each other. And then it was just, here we go again. You know what I mean? So for me, like, I took a lot of heat for the shit. You know what I mean? Standing up for him. I was very vocal about it because it's like, fuck, like, I'm trying to fucking win. Like, I'm sick of all this turnover and change, and I knew I had a voice. So, some people, fast forward, the fans want to act like, you had, we didn't want AP. I'm like, the fuck out of here. Y'all had
supposed to do.
No, that's my point.
Like you're fucking ride and dying for your team.
I'm ride or dying.
Yeah,
and I finally we look like we're going, building in the right direction again. So what the fuck am I supposed to say? Like, so I don't regret any of that. I just want to win. You know what I mean? So I was vocal about it. And then you fast forward, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? There's a lot of turnover, a lot of change. And now, we go back to square one. So AP gets fired. And it's just funny. I was talking about this in the car, but like, I was vocal about AP. Now, we got Pete Carroll that just got hired, new GM and everything. And I just been in the background, you know what I mean? I have my conversations. I'm just gonna be chilling, you know what I mean? And handling my rehab, doing my thing. And now people are like, his silence is speaking violence. He hates Pete Carroll. I'm like, here we go. I'm like,
here we go.
And that's just you can't win.
Damned if you do, damned
life.
if you don't.
No, that's life, bro. Like, I saw this clip of Floyd talking about the shit, and he was like, you're doing good, they got something to say. If you're doing bad, they got something to say. Just do what the fuck you want to do.
Hey, at least they're saying something.
I live by that. And you know what I mean? If that means I'm doing something right. And you can just go stir crazy thinking about and trying to make everybody happy, but I really don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to win. Like, that's literally all that matters, and getting healthy right now. So
have you had I mean, you don't have to say what you guys talked about, but have you talked with Coach Carroll yet? Have you had conversations or the GM? I forget his name. I'm sorry.
Spytek.
Yeah, Spytek from Tampa.
What a hell of a last name.
Yeah, hell of a name. John Spytek.
I'm like, what did his ancestors do?
Was that the company in Terminator?
I think so. Yeah.
Skynet.
Yeah. Close.
Yeah.
It's very close.
Fucking Skynet.
Yeah. No, it's funny. He during his interview, I think Carrol got interviewed a couple times, but I'm fucking rolling around in a scooter in the facility. I was doing rehab and went like grabbed a snack or something. And I seen Mark and Pete walking down the hallway. I'm like, oh shit. So I just pulled around and chopped it up with him. And this is before he got the job, so it was cool. That was the only conversation I had with him, but he's a legend, bro. Like literally a legend.
Players coach.
I've played with guys that were in Seattle. Yeah, Uncle Pete. But like, Quentin Jefferson was a teammate of mine. He was in Seattle. Marshawn Lynch, a good friend of mine. Michael Bennett, all those guys have nothing but good things to say. Richard Sherman. So for me, it's like, I just, for me, I don't give a fuck what it looks like. I just want stability, and I want to win.
The cards that are dealt. We're gonna play these fucking hands.
That's all you can do.
Bro,
that's literally all you can do.
I seen
bro.
the funniest shit when he got hired. It was yesterday. Is this guy another diehard Raider fan? El Kukui, I think his name is. But he posted. I don't know if you've seen it. It was like Pete Carroll's only goal in life is to follow Jim Harbaugh around and make his life miserable. And I was like, bro, that shit had me dying. I reposted it and I commented. I was like, bro, Pete Carroll is to Jim Harbaugh what fucking Alex Pajeda is to Izzy.
Yes.
Wherever he goes, I'm coming.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, that's hilarious. I've seen a couple of those, bro. Twitter is undefeated.
Yeah,
it's the best.
Undefeated.
So when you deal with an injury, and we talk about this a lot in MMA, I'm big on making sure that my guys stay in the room because they're an asset to the rest of the team.
Yeah.
How does that work out for you guys? I know you got PT and everything else, but as hard as it may be, not being able to play, but you're a resource now. You're a captain. You're a leader. Yeah. Guys are always looking at you. How does that feel with you on the sidelines, not be able to contribute during those times?
It's probably one of the hardest things I've had to deal with in my career. I've never missed a game until this year, and it's unfortunate, but it did allow me to look at my role from a different perspective. I got to be a leader, not just on the field. I'm so used to being like my personality, bro. I'm up front. I want to lead by example. When we're running, I'm fucking calling people out. I'm in the front. If we're in practice, I don't give a fuck who it is. You know what I mean? I'm calling you out. I'm like that. Like that's my personality. So it's just weird being you're in the background. You can't go out there and impose your will. Like that's my nature. So it's like it allowed me to really take a step back and see things from a different lens, and just be able to help and be like you said, an asset to my teammates. You got guys like Caleb on Chason, one of our other DNs who stepped into a bigger role when I got hurt. LSU boy, my brother. A lot of guys, Tyree Wilson, Adam Butler, all those guys, like just being able to sit in the film room and like really chop it up with them and, hey, what are you seeing on this? And them coming to me asking a ton of questions. Obviously it's different. It's weird. I'm doing my PT. I'm like a lot more alone time, but I'm trying to be as involved and around the guys as I can. And like that includes, our D-line dinners. And, after our last game, like, for example, like we all had a huge rookie dinner. We booked out a studio. Our rookie booked out a studio. We went to like 3 a.m, just like recording and freestyling, dying laughing. But like that's what it's about, like really keeping that camaraderie strong. It was really hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. The first couple weeks, probably the first couple days, especially, like I was like, I cannot believe I can't play. Like in the past, I've had injuries and I've just played through it. But like you got to fucking pop wheel. Like you can't. They told me, like, you keep fucking playing on it, you got to grade through, you can fuck your shit up for long term. And I'm like, I'm not taking that risk. Even though I was already doing that during the season, I was playing through it already. So it was just like, it was time to get surgery.
Especially at your level, bro. Like, it has to become a business decision at some point,
Facts.
right? I mean, it has to.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I've played, it's my 6th surgery in 6 years. I've played through multiple injuries. I've broken bones, done all of that. Last year I played with the knee fucking bursa blown up, had infection, all type of shit, but I never missed a game. But this time it was like I physically couldn't do what I do. I don't want to be out there a liability for the team like that. That when I start feeling like that, I'm like, this is I have no choice. You know what I mean? So it's tough.
But the rest of the team feels that when you are there and you are participating and you are part of that, knowing that you're injured. Brad and I talk about this all the time. Brad's been injured throughout his career, and I'll be like, he hadn't been in the gym for 2-3 weeks. I'll hit him up. Yo, bro, can you come to sparring? Because I know his mentality. Bro, you're an asset to the team. You can help watch sparring, but it also keeps your mental game sharp. It's the environment that you're lacking. He's sitting at home playing Call of Duty. I'm like, yo, bro, get your ass off the couch, get in the gym, be a part of what we do, because it's going to get you out of that depression, out of that funk, being around the rest of the teammates.
100%. That's the most thing you got to protect. You know this. Like, being around the guys is, like, you don't even realize how important that is until you're out of it. You know what I mean? And, like, you're a fucking go-getter. You're a one mindset all the time when you're in training mode. But when it just turns off, like you think you want to have time to yourself when you're in training mode. You're like, damn, these are fucking long days, whatever. I go 2 days without like being in my normal routine. I'm going fucking nuts. So like, it was tough.
Bro, it also gives you an appreciation of when you are healthy.
Yeah, for
right.
sure,
Like,
bro.
Okay, man, I know when this gets taken. If this gets taken away from me, like I appreciate it more.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I gotta fucking work out, at least some sort of workout, like whether it's here at the lair or in the gym with them. But like touching back to what Eric said, when I tore my ACL, that was probably at that time the most like, well, I broke my arm and had to have surgery on that, but I think the ACL was longer. And I remember just like, it's hard for me to like be there at the gym because I couldn't do this shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, like this, like, bro, imagine it's like when you're cutting weight, which I can do with that too. Like, imagine you cutting weight, you starving, and then somebody just puts this like nice plate of food, like your favorite food in front
I
of
do
you.
it all the time, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's why I'm used to it. Him and Ray.
It's just diabolical.
But yeah, so that's what it felt like. So I would be like, fuck, like it's hard for me to be there without being able to do it. And yeah, he hit me up. He's like, bro, we need you in there. And so yeah, I would come back around and just and that's one thing. Like at the time, I know it now, but at the time I didn't really realize how much the younger guys like really looked up to me, and like I don't know, it like almost brings them like a sense of like comfort with like the the older guys, the veterans, like being there, being able to watch them, give them like constructive criticism, compliments,
It's gotta
or
be
help.
motivating too.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Oh, these two guys are on the sideline. They can't be out here. I'm out here, so I need to perform and do these things to the best of my ability because both, each guy is injured. They would love to be out here right now.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And back to your thing about routine, like it makes sense. You guys have been doing the same thing or a variation of the same
Entire
thing
life.
for 25 years of what I mean straight. So
Well, on the bright spots, moving forward, how'd you like my draft pick, Brock Bowers?
I know, bro. Dude, so I thought, and I'm sure you thought this, it's gonna be Penix, right?
Yeah,
and then there
low-key.
goes Penix to Atlanta. Literally, as soon as the pick gets sent, he's like, oh, well, there goes our QB. Hopefully we get Bowers. And I'm like, Bowers? I was like, bro, we don't need no I was like, no. I told him, I was like, fuck no. We don't need no tight end. And, bro, the fucking season unfolded. And, bro, like, weeks into the season, I was like, bro, you called this shit. Halfway into the season, I was like, bro,
I
you
sent a
called
text
this
in,
shit.
Animal, bro.
I phoned a friend. I said,
Yeah.
Brock Bowers, pick him up. Let's go.
Who was it, Telesco at the time?
Generational
Bro,
talent.
literally, bro, he
different,
was
bro.
literally the only person, and I tune into a lot of the media and watching mock drafts, this and that, just to kind of see, and nobody was pairing the Raiders and Brock Bowers. Nobody, not at all, not one little bit. Not even like, oh, well, I guess if he's there at 13, the Raiders should get him. Not even that.
Yeah.
Negative. And this guy was like, well, hopefully we get Bowers.
I wanted him the whole time.
He's unbelievable.
I wanted him the whole time because
He's
I
different,
look
bro.
at needs, not necessarily needs, at who's available, best available talent-wise.
I agree, bro.
Best
I
available
agree.
talent-wise. And I watch a lot of SEC football. I'm like, this dude is a difference maker. You could put him in multiple positions.
Yeah.
You can line him up at X if you wanted to. He's a mismatch nightmare. And I'm like, that dude will make fucking problems for this league. I'm telling you.
How's his work ethic been coming in? I mean, obviously you see the production on the field, but like when he came into the facility, seeing him work, anything surprise you about him?
I don't know if surprise is the right word.
Yeah.
I would to speak on his work ethic. When I walked in there in the morning, at like 6, whatever it is, 5:45, it's me and Brock every day.
Really?
So that's the
Love that.
first thing I look at is like, it's me and him. He's eating in his corner. I'm eating at my day. I'm smacking my breakfast, and I'm getting on with my day. It's literally me and him every day.
Love that.
So that's the first thing I notice. I'm like, okay, he's consistent. He's got a routine. He's doing his thing, but he's just so quiet. Like he's a quiet kid. He doesn't say much, but he just works and he shows up every day. I knew that from the first OTA. You just watch him run around, and it's just so effortless. He's so smooth with how he runs routes, and it doesn't like you could just watch his highlights. Like it doesn't look like he's doing some crazy ass breaking people up. He's just always open. He's so athletic and he's so smooth as an athlete. He makes it look easy, and that's when you know you're a different type of player. So he's incredible. And to speak to your point, on top of that, I think that's where a lot of teams get it wrong is they try to draft for need and take a lesser of a player because they think they need to fill a hole. Like, say you have a right tackle out. All right, we need to draft the best right tackle, but that right tackle might not be worth a first-round pick or second-round pick.
Yep.
If you, I truly believe this. You build a team by just picking great players. It doesn't matter what your exact need is at that time. We didn't technically need a tight end, but now look, he's a first-team All-Pro as a rookie. It's never been done.
Rookie,
so yeah, you have more. Just the bet. You put great players on the field, your team is going to get better. You can't just chase. All right, we need a quarterback, so we're just going to overdraft somebody that's not necessarily, good enough to, be drafted that position. So
Tell Brock we got the plug for him in Turkey as well.
I was just going to say, did the
Plug
locker
him
room
up.
tell him to come home yet or what?
Hey,
baby.
I mean, he's just that type of guy. He's like Hunter Renfro, bro. He
I
doesn't
don't
care.
think he gives a fuck.
He doesn't give one fuck. No, he's
I don't
chilling.
think he gives a fuck.
Locker room got to tell him, come on home, bro.
Yeah,
Time-
it's all
time to
good.
come home. Real quick, last thing on AP. What do you think? What do you think went wrong, or do you think he just wasn't given a fair shake? Like, why do you think that they cut the cord so quick on him?
I mean, I can't necessarily say or point at one thing. I think as a whole, I mean, we're 4-13, and it made it easier for them because he has no experience. You know what I mean? He hasn't been a head coach before, so I feel like they wanted to give it a try, they give it a chance, and it didn't work out, for whatever reason. There's a lot. I mean, you could point at a lot of things, especially when you lose. You can nitpick a million things, but there's a lot of factors that go into winning, and the margin for error in the NFL is very, very thin. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate. My relationship with AP has always been good, and I wish him the best. But yeah, we're on to the next step and what we're doing, and we'll see what happens, because I think you bring in a guy like Brady, you bring in his crew. They're having, obviously you see the reports and things like that. He has a say. You know what I mean? Mark Davis obviously is the big dog, but Brady has an influence, and he's earned that. He's won 7 fucking Super Bowls. He knows what he's talking about. So, I mean, he brought him in for a reason.
Sure.
And Brady's a competitor. He didn't come in to just. It's not just an investment opportunity. It's
Right.
the same way I look at it, like BKFC or whatever. I want the best fucking pizza on the market. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever I'm doing, I want it to be the best. So
Yeah.
Brady, he's built and wired that way. So he wants to come in and build a winner. So when he came in, it's like, okay, let's clean. Let's go start
I
from
wish
scratch.
you'd see this more often.
Yeah.
Where does AP go from here? Like,
Yeah.
I know Pete Carroll will bring in his own staff, but wouldn't he be like a legacy guy where you're like, hey, maybe it didn't work out in this role for you, but I'd love to see him still involved with the Raiders just because of who he is.
Yeah.
He's a diehard Raider fan. Like this, you saw how much he loved the team.
Yeah.
I just think it sucks that sometimes when a guy maybe gets fired.
You rarely see that,
You
too.
rarely see it. I get
rarely.
it. Maybe you see it more on the college level.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, like he's
mean,
a guy
Robert
maybe
Saleh just went
as a
back to San
lesser
Fran.
role. Hey, bro, maybe he's back to defense coordinator, linebackers coach, something like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, just like you would love to see the guy still in the building is my
Yeah,
point.
definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
Have you spoke with Brady at all? Have you guys had conversations kind of about the vision moving forward?
No, we're gonna be having those conversations soon. We've already had some conversations as well, but I've known him for the last few years.
Yeah.
His guy that works on my body, Alex Guerrero, him and Brady are like they've been like this forever. So Alex works on me every day. So we're in communication. Me and Tom, we text from here and there. But he's awesome, bro. Like he's always been great to me, and he's a winner, bro. Like that's all that matters to me is winning. So that's my biggest thing. Like I talked about, like coaches, all these different changes. I just want to win, and that's my number one goal every single day. Every time I wake up, I'm putting in work so I can get one step closer to winning. And I can't play forever. You know what I mean? The NFL, it's not like, it's not like basketball. You're gonna just play 20-some years. I mean, Brady played for that long, but quarterbacks played for longer. That's just they're not in the trenches like that. Like I'm fucking
In the weeds.
banging my head every
Yes.
single play and doing that. Not gonna play for 20 years, and I don't want to. But yeah, my window, like I'm going into my 7th year, bro. I wanna be a part of a winner and have a chance to win, and I know I'm gonna be doing that soon. I'm excited to see what that looks like.
And they're gonna take that as he said he wants to play for the Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to go to the Chiefs, or exactly. He's got to.
Fuckers.
Yeah, fuckers.
You know, let him do. Speaking
have
of people that aren't with the Raiders anymore, are you happy Davante's gone so that he quits copying your wardrobe?
No, I'm not happy Davante's gone. You know,
the same shit if
it's
all day if I had
the
to.
same thing. You know what I mean? You want great players in the building,
No,
so it's
I know, I'm
unfortunate.
fucking with you.
Unfortunate it ended that way. But yeah, that fucker, he took my outfits, and I know it now. I'm just playing. But that's my guy, bro. It's hilarious. Like we really since day one, like me and him clicked, and yeah, I feel like certain people
Bro, you
we had a
guys are
similar energy,
obviously
bro.
on some type of same
Some
wave.
weird level, but like it was weird. Like I walk in the locker room. This is the first time we wore the same fit, but I walked in, and I'm sitting there. I'm first guy in there. It's fucking empty. I'm on there on my phone, whatever. A couple people walk in. I see Davante like out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, I look at him, I go, God damn. And I just look, I point, I go, come here. And I go, look at him, and I point at my locker. He's like, bro, stop it. and then it happened again with the same, like, all blue fit. And I'm like, this is a problem. And, like, our wives think we're lying. Like, we think, you know, they thought we coordinated. I'm like, we are not making it up. I swear on the Bible, there was no conversation. We just happen to be, on the same
get on
same
FaceTime.
wavelength.
No,
Like,
bro,
this
it's
is what
them,
I'm
bro.
wearing,
It's the wives, bro. They're doing this to you guys.
I know, they're low-key just pushing it in the front of the
They're
in
like,
the
let's
wardrobe.
prank these guys.
Max, who's your maybe not views wise, but who's your Sean Strickland in the locker room? Who's the guy you're like, oh my God?
That's kind of out there, to say the least. Fuck, I've been around some characters for sure. I mean, like currently or like all time?
Yeah, whatever.
I mean,
Well, you had the all psycho
Richie
team.
was.
I knew he was
Richie
gonna
was.
say Richie.
It was for sure Richie. Richie is fucking
Bro,
wild.
I got a funny ass Richie story too, but
I bet you do. But Richie, I would definitely say Richie. I love that fucking dude.
Yeah,
But
a few of
you don't
them.
want to get on his bad side, or you're gonna be fucking miserable.
oh, bro,
He's a
just
motherfucker.
he's like what I think of when I think of like a Raider through and through. Like,
Oh my god.
is that fucker?
Yeah.
Like,
Like if he's one of those dudes. It's like he's gonna try you right out the gate. Like he's gonna test you, see if you're like built like that.
Yeah.
If he senses any bit of weakness, he's going to He's on your ass
you.
every day in practice. He's on you.
That's funny.
So like I remember coming in as a rookie, bro. Like I'm looking at Trent Brown. This motherfucker's 6'8", 400 pounds. Richie, like that's literally how big he is. And then Richie, fucking wide as a semi truck, and then you got Gabe Jackson, who was like 350 playing guard. Like these dudes, we had the biggest O line in the fucking league, and they were mean.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and Rodney was still there.
oh,
yeah.
Rodney's the
Yep.
center. Colton is 6'8", 330 at left tackle. Like
Christ.
we had monsters, and I'm coming from Eastern Michigan. Like I played some big players, obviously, whatever. But like I look at these guys, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Welcome to the.
Yeah, so like but you can't show weakness. Like that was my first thing. Like I went up there first day of one-on-ones, and like dudes were literally like, I'm not going versus that motherfucker. Like they didn't want to go against Trent. They would not step up. I'm like, are y'all fucking serious? Like I've never seen that in my life. Like ever in my life. I'm like, I don't give a fuck who. I might get my ass whooped, but I'm not backing. I don't give a fuck who it is. And that's like how I earned my respect with Richie and those guys. Like those motherfuckers were like, they were trying to kill me, but after a while they realized like I don't give a fuck. Like I was a little pit bull at the time, just trying to bite and get my ass whooped a little bit, but like I was not backing down. So I got close with them. But like Richie, he sees somebody that thinks they're weak, like he's gonna fucking pounce on your
Bro,
ass.
that's
And-
like the green light at the gym.
Oh, bro.
light,
And
yeah.
it starts in the
Green
locker
light at
room.
the gym.
It starts in the locker room. That's what you don't want to see after practice and shit. He's fucking with people, just fucking with you. And if you're weak, like they're gonna pounce on
You
you.
remember when we had the conversation with Sean, and Sean's like, you guys think if I pad it up with Max, I can drop Max on the
Oh, my
field?
God.
I think I wrote you right away.
Oh, trust me. He
And
says it to me every time. Oh, bro, let's
like,
put on pads. I'm like, Sean, I'll
who
fucking
you got?
kill
Like,
you.
you think I can take Max
You'll
out? I'm
die.
like, no, bro, you
Bro.
can't take Max. Really? Like an Oklahoma drill, one-on-one with Max?
An Oklahoma drill of
No,
all
bro,
things?
you
Yeah.
cannot
Bro.
fucking take out
I'll
Max.
knock him
You
out
idiot.
cold.
But I love
I'll
to
kill
see
him.
it, Sean.
Me too.
Love to see it.
Love to see it.
Put him
pal.
outside of his element. Yeah,
Try it on.
exactly.
Try it. Let's see how
It'll
it
be
goes.
great.
man.
Speaking
Football once in high school. I'm pretty sure I can do it.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not scared of shit.
Yeah, Uncle Rico ass.
Uncle Rico.
Fucking idiot.
Speaking of that all psycho team in 2020, what was what was that like being on that team?
My rookie year, you're saying?
No, was it when you had AB, Perfect,
Yeah,
Richie?
perfect, Richie. Yeah, that was my rookie year.
Was it
That was
19?
2019 when I came in. That was that team.
Jesus Christ.
So I thought this is like normal. Like, Richie's fucking brawling people every day. I fucking watched Antonio Brown come in on a hot air balloon to camp. Like, I'm like, what is this? I'm like, serious? Yes.
Yeah, bro.
In,
It's on a Hard Knocks.
in Napa
Yeah.
on a hot air balloon. I'm like, this is the NFL, I guess. This is awesome. Like, I just thought it was cool. I'm just along for the ride.
I showed up in a
But
car.
yeah, bro, it was
Are you guys
crazy.
don't drive
Ubered
cars
here.
around here? It's just hot air balloons.
Hot air balloons, camels, anything. But it was crazy, bro. I seen some shit. It was just like, wow, this is nuts. And it was on Hard Knocks, so kind of like
Right.
everybody's seeing it.
That's right. Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was amazing. Like, but that's the thing, like those guys, like you see the outlandish wild shit, but like
Yeah.
they were all cool as fuck to me. Like I had a great relationship with Richie, even Vontaze. Like people have this
Yeah.
thought, their thoughts about Vontaze. He's a serial killer or some shit. Like he was one of the coolest, best teammates, great leader, great captain, communicator, smart as hell. Like he's the type of guy you want on your team. He
Bro,
just
brought
sees red when somebody's crossing the field and he's gonna knock your teeth out. But that's just who he was, and now the game just evolved. You can't do it anymore, and it sadly ended his career.
I liked him in the
But he was
Bengals.
great.
Oh, yeah,
bro.
bro.
He was an animal.
Animal.
What was,
he was an animal.
What was
bro.
the dynamic like with Vontaze and AB? Because
That
obviously
hit.
that hit is like what's talked about.
It's the game, though.
Everyone
Right.
talks about that. They're like, "Oh, is there going to be a problem?" Absolutely not. They were like buddies, laughing every day.
Really?
Like,
100%.
yeah, they had no problem. That's football, bro. Like,
Of course.
Yeah.
I've injured multiple people, and you see them in the offseason. Hey, what's up, man? Like
Yeah.
the Broncos kid, their running back. I smacked the shit out of him a few years ago, and he was like cutting. I blew his knee out, all type of shit.
But it's the game.
It's a part of the game. You know what I mean? I had no intention of doing that, but now he just sent me his jersey. I sent his jersey, chopped it up. Like, that's what it's about. Like, football, it's the same thing with fighting. Like, you knock a motherfucker out, it's not like you're going to hate him for the rest of your life.
Yes.
I don't know how that dynamic is a little different, but you see guys all the time.
pretty
Like,
much the same.
yeah, you have that mutual
It's
respect.
an unwritten rule, man. It's just like, bro,
Yeah.
it's
the
what you're
game.
signing up for.
Yeah,
It's what you're
100%.
signing up for, 100%.
Absolutely.
I saw a clip of Gruden the other day. I don't remember where it was, talking about that mini camp that you guys had. But that AB was like looking incredible in that mini camp, and I just wanted to ask you about it because he said he went home
I
in the
remember
clip,
that.
and he was
Yeah.
like, I went home and I
Told
got
his wife.
hammered that night, and I told my wife like we're not gonna drop a pass all season.
We had a mini camp. I tell you, we had a mini camp back in Oakland. He put on a display. He took some of our routes that we like to call lookies. I got all these words. He made the routes look better than anybody I've ever seen. And his conditioning was sick. If we didn't have a fence around the field, he might have got killed by a car because he finishes everything. He'll run 100 miles an hour. I thought I went home and got hammered one night after minicamp. I told my wife, I said, we're going to complete every pass. That's how good this guy looked. He was phenomenal. And unfortunately, I never got him for one freaking game.
So what was that mini camp like
Bro,
before everything fell apart?
Before everything burned to the ground.
Before he
No.
fucking frostbit his toes.
His feet, the helmet, there was so many things. But bro, he was unbelievable. Like that was one dude, and it's funny when I got there. Like after OTAs, I was hitting up AB. He's a Central Michigan guy. I'm Eastern, so like we go way. I didn't know him back then, but that's how I connected with him. I'm like, bro, I played in the MAC too, and I was like, he's like, oh shit, yeah, Eastern Michigan. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be cool with AB. Like that was my goal. But he was like, the way he trained, bro, it was unbelievable. Like you talk about work ethic. He inspired, like some of the shit I do, like people think I'm fucking crazy and how much I train. I train 365. Like there's some of that shit I got from him. Like that motherfucker was not like literally nonstop. He would have 2 days, 3 days training in the pool. Then it would be 10 p.m. He's out there running routes on the field. Like he was a different animal. And the way he practiced, which I didn't get to see it much because there was a fucking 100 things going on. But when he practiced, you're like, bro, we're about to fucking light people on fire this year. Like he was incredible. We could have had Josh Jacobs, AB, Darren Waller, Tyrell Williams. Like, there was nobody that was going to stop us. With that O-line, bro.
Who was the QB?
We had DC.
Yeah. Okay.
And it didn't matter. Like, you give Carr time, he's going to be straight. Like, it's just, unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. But he could fly.
I have
it's crazy.
Awesome AB story I want to share real quick. So no, but a really good one because, I had a really good relationship with him for a long time. People don't know that. When I was at UFC, 2016, Pittsburgh, Cowboy Cerrone versus Cowboy Oliveira was the main event. And we hit up the Steelers, wanted to do like an activation. I think we ended up bringing like Kamaru Usman to the locker room or something. We did something. And AB, Mike Mitchell, Arthur Moats, and Lawrence Timmons were like big fans. And they would hit us up in on Twitter DMs on the UFC account. So I'm going back and forth with these guys leading up to the fight. And they're like, yeah, we want to come to the fight. But they were like, we want to come to open workouts. I'm like, all right, cool. So 4 Steelers come in. They watch the open workouts. They do this, the whole thing. It was really, really dope. And they come to the fight. Or D'Angelo Williams was with them, too, at the time. And so they come to the fight. They watch the fight. And for whatever reason, AB and I just kept in touch. We sent his kids like a bunch of UFC gloves signed by Cowboy, a bunch of other stuff. He would send me videos to like put on the UFC social media of his kids like punching him and like hitting the wall and stuff. Really cool. Later that year, he does Dancing with the Stars. And Paige Van Zandt is on Dance with the Stars, same season. So UFC sends me to LA to go cover Paige. So I'm doing video, photo work, social, all that stuff, right? And I see AB. He's like, what's up, bro? How you doing? Blah, blah. So we're talking. And I go out there for a few weeks. And I was like, man, my mom's such a big fan of the show. Like, she's cheering for you. She's cheering for Paige because I work with UFC and all this stuff. And he's like, would your mom want to come to a show? I'm like, yeah, dude. My mom would like fucking love. Like, she would lose her mind. He's like, have her come to a show. And it wasn't like a finale or nothing, but it was one of the live tapings. He's like, I'll leave tickets at will call. I'll leave 2 tickets. She's going to go with her cousin, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. She gets there. She's like, hey, they're making me drive on the set. I'm like, what do you mean drive on the set? She's like, I don't know. They're telling me to go on the set. AB gave up his parking spot on the set so my mom could park her fucking RAV4 on the set of Dancing with the Stars. Gave her 2 tickets. She's like second row, right there watching on the floor. He's down. She didn't get to meet him, unfortunately, because he was like busy, whatever. But it's just like my favorite AB story. He's always been a solid dude to me. I haven't talked to him in probably 4 years or so, obviously, with everything he has going on. But I always want to tell that story because like he was always rock solid to me. When he did that for my mom, it was like the coolest shit ever. Like, she loved it. So
that's dope. Yeah. That's dope. And I like that you brought that up because obviously when shit goes south, a lot of people love to just throw fucking gas on the fire and forget about all the good shit he did. I'll say that too. Like I've talked about AB publicly. A bunch of people have asked me. He was so fucking cool to me. Since day one. Like I was literally unknown dude from Eastern Michigan and he first day, Eastern Michigan, what up? Blah, 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 blah. What up, man? He asked me, hey, you want to come work out? Come do this? And I'm like, what? Like I was nobody. And he always treated me great. Obviously he had his own shit going on, but I will say this, his Twitter might be the best Twitter on the planet.
Have you been Cracker of the Day yet?
I haven't got, he's had a couple interactions. I think I've been up there, but I haven't gotten that prestigious award yet. So we'll see. Maybe one day.
Bro, funny enough, what made me a fan of his is fantasy football.
Yeah?
Yep.
Dude, he was unbelievable.
Animal.
I won our league with him.
Yeah. He was incredible. I know you had a question about 2020 and Max, like in his sobriety.
So what I wanted to ask you is like I know it's pretty well known about your sobriety, how important that was to you, and how big of a change that was for you in your personal life and your on-field life. But what was your like aha moment? Like what was there one specific thing, or was it just like you kind of look back and be like,
it was that cast of characters in 2020. Like,
all psycho things. He was like,
I don't want to be. No, it's a great question. For me, I honestly the one thing that I knew deep down in my soul that was holding me back from being my full potential, the best version of myself, was my partying. Like I was always like, even in high school and college, like I fucking worked my ass off, but I partied just as fucking hard. Like I was always that way, and I always had an addictive personality. So like I was a middle child growing up. I always felt like I'm trying to prove myself. I feel my brother was like the superstar when I was a kid. He was a Calvin Klein model. He had a full ride to multiple offers for football. Like I was unknown, and like I always just felt like I'm trying to prove myself so hard. So that's kind of that's why I fell in love with like partying and drinking. I felt like I could, I had confidence now, and that just like what it brought out of me. So I fell in love with it. And for me, like over the years, like at first it was great. I loved it. I loved partying and doing my thing, but it just got worse and worse. And I fell in love with it. So like it was a problem. And I somehow managed to continue playing at a high level. I never did that shit before games or anything like that. But like second the game was done, I'm balls to the wall. And it just got worse and worse over time. And then, you know, you get to the NFL, now you got money, you got freedom, you got your own spot. Like, it just got worse. And it really was just like, after my rookie year, like, I really was going hard. Like, when we were in the Bay, like, I was partying my ass off, blackouts, all type of shit. Like, and I was out of control. And I knew deep down, like, I need to low-key get help. And, shit, my girl left me. She was like, fuck you, I'm done with this shit. I'm going to Florida. Like, it was hard, bro. I was going through it, and nobody really knew what was going on. Like, I told this story a couple days ago, as fucked up as it is. Like, I was going through that with my girl, all this shit, partying my ass off, and I go out there versus the Bengals, get 4 sacks, and come home, and my girl, like, hates me, and I'm miserable. Like, people don't even know that, bro. Like, and I don't even know, like, I don't even know how the fuck I was able to do some of the shit. I had 10 sacks as a rookie, bro, and I was going hard. Like, I really don't know, but it also is like, it's God at the same time, like, looking out for me, because I knew deep down, like, there was a better version of myself out there. I just had to really look myself in the mirror and say, fuck it, like, I'm done with this shit. So after my rookie year, I went like 3 months, like, in a row, like, on a bender, bro. Like, I was partying, going to Miami, doing all this shit, like, what I thought was what I was, you know, living the dream in the NFL, but deep down I was miserable, bro. And it was March 11th, after my rookie year, and I was like, I woke up one morning, like, my bed is like filled with sweat, bro. I'm like sweating demons out, literally. And I just looked myself in the mirror, and I'm like, bro, I don't even recognize myself, bro. Like, I'm miserable. I feel like fucking death. Like, I literally, like, I was like, I was locked up. My fucking toe, my whole body, like, I felt like I was fucking dying. I'm like, I need to fucking get help, bro. Like, this shit, I'm gonna die. If I keep doing this shit, like, I was out of control. You know what I mean? So that was it. Like, I got the shit tatted on March 11th, 2020. I was like, called my girl. I'm like, I need fucking help. Call my agent. I'm like, I don't know what I need. Like, I need to go. Like, I'm ready. I got fucking, they kidnapped my ass. Took me to Hollywood. The rest is history. It's been almost 5 years now. So
coming up on 5 years.
It's crazy,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Coming on 5 years. Yeah, but
awesome,
it was the best thing I ever did, bro. Yeah. Like, I knew deep down my whole life, like, this is what's holding me back from being what I want to be, where I'm at now and where I'm going. Like, that's why I love, like, the doubt, the negativity, all that shit, is because I know there's a whole nother level I'm going to, because I'm still, every day, like, it's not like, all right, you get sober now, all your issues go away. Like, bro, it's even hard. Like, there's some days where it gets even harder, especially in my position. Like, fuck, people want what I have. People are coming after what I got every fucking day. Like, I'm at war every day. And Dana told me that shit, like, one of the first times I sat with him. Like, went to Miami with him, and I'm sitting with him. I'm telling him, like, I'm not trying to just be, like, a part of your crew and, like, just be along for the ride and go on your private jet and take pictures. I don't give a fuck. Like, I want to be doing this shit when I'm 50. Like, that's my goal, bro. Like, I talk about business, all that stuff. Like, I want to build an empire. I want to be a fucking billionaire. Like, I want to be a Hall of Famer. I can't stop. So my mentality is always like that. So now it's even harder. Like, my addictive personality has helped me get here, but at the same time, like, there's a million things coming at me, and you got to realize what's most important in the midst of all the crazy shit. So that's been the biggest battle, is just like, you know, you're in Las Vegas, I got fucking millions of dollars, I got all this shit going in the right direction, but that also comes with a lot of shit, you know what I mean? So being able to really just clean up who I have around me, like, my circle is so small. I keep just the people that bring me peace and don't give a fuck about what I bring, like, as a financially, all that shit, that's all that matters to me. Like, it's literally me and my girls, my daughter, my wife, got a few people, like, my real tight-knit circle that I'm with, and that's it. Like, I keep it small, do what I do. I know what makes me happy. My vices, shit, that's an everyday battle, but, like, I'm smoking my cigars and I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I keep shit real simple. But it works for me, and I'm happy. Like, I look in the mirror and be like, I love the person I am. Like, I can say that shit, and that's the hardest.
I love that, bro.
As a kid, I was miserable, bro. I was trying to do everything, trying to be like this person, do this, and I'm like, bro, I'm secure. People could not like me. It's like, we talk about the social media, fans hate you, this, and it's like, I think it's just cool. Like, bro, I'm living in a fucking simulation. Like, people are really just. People are talking about wake up every day. Oh, he's getting traded here. Oh, he's fucking da da da. And it's like, damn, like, it's just kind of fucking dope. Like, like, if I looked as a kid, I'd be like, damn, they'd be talking about me in this way. Like, fuck it. Like, I'm living everything I wanted to do right now. So, but getting sober I would not be here, and none of this shit would happen if I didn't get sober. So
that's commendable.
That's number one, bro.
Honestly, that's incredible.
100%.
Especially with, like you said, all of the temptation around you.
Yeah.
Young NFL player, millions, Vegas.
Vegas.
Like,
Yeah,
you
fuck
know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like
Hell yeah.
there's so much temptation, and to have like your wife, your daughter, your small circle, it's commendable to be, on that journey.
Looking
And-
back at it now, doesn't it feel weird to think about all those things like where you're at today? Like, oh, I didn't need any of this shit back then. Like, you feel like you needed it. You feel like it's a part of your life. I talk to Joe Benavidez about this all the time, and Joe was a guy who suffered from addiction.
Yeah.
And again, like we mentioned, when I'm around Joe, like I'll have a couple old fashions here and there, but like out of respect for Joe,
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a drink around Joe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I want him to not feel any of that. Where Joe's like, hey, you guys get it, have a drink,
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, no, man, I respect your sobriety more than I respect this old fashioned right now, right? So that circle becomes a lot tighter and cleaner. But people that you really love or people that really care about you, they want to see the best for you, and they're not going to put you in those positions either. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I'm the same way too. Like my buddies and shit, they're like, some of them are like, yeah, I don't want to
Scared,
get. I'm like,
yeah.
bro, go have fun. Like I'm good. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. The
Yeah.
first year of being sober, I'm like, feel like I was in a cave, bro. I'm like, just get me the fuck away from everything. But
Sure.
after that first year, like that's when I took off as a player. Like and in life, like I just felt like, all right, I'm alive again. Like I could do this shit, and I feel that way. I feel the best I've ever felt, and it's been hard. Like you really have to start from square one again, and that's the hardest thing. Like, bro, you got to dig up all the shit. You got to go and call the people you did wrong. All this shit,
Right.
like it's fucking hard, bro. I'm sitting there on the phone like, fuck, clicking, just having these conversations or going in person. Like, bro, some of my best friends, like shit, I did them dirty, just being a fucking degenerate. Like, I had to make amends, and then
you
it's
have
all
to do those things too, huh?
you have to. You got to clear your side of the street, bro. And it's to this day, like, bro. But it goes both ways. Like, there's people that have fucking done me wrong for a long time, and I just allowed it to happen because I was happy-go-lucky. Max is cool with everything. Just gonna party, have fun. He's alive. But that's not good for me either. Like, I don't want that type of person around me because
You're holding on to that.
yeah, I'm holding on and
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's all right, but they're like, you really. You fucking peel back the onion and you look, you're like, damn, these motherfuckers really don't give a fuck about me.
Right.
Like people around me just see me drinking myself to death and really just like, oh,
Didn't
it's
say
just
one word.
Nobody gave a shit. They,
Enablers.
as long as I was doing what I was doing, they're like, oh, he's good. Like, I don't want those people around me either. You know what I mean? Like, that's like my wife. Some people don't. People might think she's fucking harsh sometimes. Might think she's tough. But she does
loves
not
you more
fuck
than
around,
anybody.
bro.
Yeah.
She was there through it all.
Yeah.
And that's like, bro, we've had our ups and downs. Bro, we've been through it all. But at the end of the day, like she truly, like at the end, bro, she's a fucking soldier. Like, and people might have their, oh, she's too rough. Oh, she says this and that. I'm like, no, my wife, she's real. She doesn't give a fuck what you think. Like, she doesn't care about the money. She doesn't care about any of that. She was with me before I had a sack in college, any of that. So that's the type of people I want
appreciate
around.
that relationship even
Bro,
more.
hell yeah.
Right? Like she
Hell
might have
yeah,
said
bro.
something. Like my wife, I've been with my wife since high school.
Yeah.
I needed her to be mean to me at times because she
Fuck
wanted
yeah.
what was best for me. Right?
Yes.
That saying, I love you too much to leave you the way that you are. Right? Like, dude, sometimes it's going to hurt on the front end. It's going to hurt your ego. But they're telling you this shit because you need to fucking hear it because they love you so much.
That's facts.
You know what I mean?
That's facts. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. Being born and raised in Vegas, you see a lot of things at a young age.
Yeah, I
And
imagine.
you grow up quick. But we talk about this all the time, especially in the gym. We'll know what type of fighter or athlete we have within the first couple months.
Yeah.
Because if guys move to Vegas all the time, and if you have a vice, this town will fucking pull it out of you.
Hell yeah.
And we'll know right away.
Bro, I've seen
This
some of the
dude-
best go down here and to the point like
Get eaten
literally
up.
not here with us anymore.
Yeah.
Because Vegas, yep.
100%, bro.
Crazy.
So that's everything, bro. Like, I think that's the most important part about sobriety, which has helped me in my routine, my football, my everything I've got going on. It's like you can't hide your whole fucking life. You got vices, like I know my vices. Like I can sit here and fucking break that shit down to you, a whole fucking list.
Right.
But I'm open about it. Like I have to be, because if I try to hide it from somebody, then I'm gonna be living a
eat you
halfway
up
lie.
inside.
It'll eat me up. Like that's what you talk about your wife. Like it's the same with me. Like my wife, I don't want to hear some shit sometimes, or she's like, "This motherfucker telling you this motherfucker don't trust him. He doesn't have your back." And I'm like, "Come on, like you're tripping. He's cool, but." And then she's right every fucking time. Every
100 out of 100.
Women's
No,
intuition,
I
bro.
swear
They
to
just
God,
know.
bro. The women, they know.
Yeah,
And
they
like
know.
that's what's it's so dope about her. And like especially the people in my circle, like my agent too. Like me and my agent are like this. Like this dude was picking me up out of the dungeon. I don't know, blacked out some random fucking. He has kidnapped me, saved me so many times. Like that dude, regardless of him being my agent and shit like that, like he's like we're like this. Like my two best friends, like my two brothers I do the podcast with, The Rush.
Yep.
They're like my brothers. They see me before I had shit, and like those are the people you
real
want
ones.
around because they're gonna tell me, Max, you're being a fucking dumbass. Like,
I
we're fucking
just
leaving.
listened to the pod where I think you gave him a rollie, yeah?
Yeah,
I just listened to that one.
Of course, like those are like my brothers, bro. Like those dudes, and obviously my brother too. Like I have a big brother as well, and like those are the people you have so close to you that they know you, and it doesn't matter what fucking status I am because I'm in the NFL. I don't give a fuck about that. Like I want people that treat me like Max, not fucking the football player. You know what I mean? So
Max, what was your aha moment in the NFL where you're like, I fucking made it. I'm here, right? Like, where was it a player, a game where you just went, fuck yeah, dude, I made it?
I think the first time I felt like I never like. It's funny. Like I still to this day, like I don't feel like
you made it.
I made it. That's
you,
why
brother.
I'm so hungry.
Yep.
Like I still feel like I have so much to prove. Like some
I'm
people
still
say,
the rookie.
Yeah, bro. It's not even that. It's more like I just every year my goals get bigger and my vision gets clear. So it's like to the outside world they think, oh, Max, you're making millions. You got all this money. You got all this. You're playing. You made all pros, Pro Bowls, all that shit. I'm like. I'm trying to be first team All-Pro. I'm trying to be fucking Hall of Fame. I have so much fucking room to grow. Right, you know what I mean? And it's like for me, it's like the clock is ticking. Like I don't have any time to waste. This my perspective has changed so much. So I really haven't had a moment where like, I know, like I'm secure. Like it comes to confidence. I step on the field. Don't get me wrong. Like I feel like fucking Superman. I don't feel like anybody could fuck with me. But at the same time, like it's just always it's never ending. So I would say the first time I felt like on the field, like damn, like I know I could play was my rookie year when we played in Indianapolis. We played the Colts. That was like my first time I really got to play. First couple weeks, like I was fucking struggling. Like I'm rotating, playing first and second down. I was playing like 15, 20 snaps and like they were brutal. Like I'm not used to coming off the field. In college, I'm playing every snap. Like I'm a rhythm guy. Like I like getting my rhythm, getting my feel. I'm just going in for first down, set the edge, and then I'm out the game. I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to contribute? Like I feel like I'm just out here. But the fourth game of my rookie year, we played the Colts. Our DN, Benson, I don't know if you remember him, Benson Mayoa. He was like our third down edge rusher. And right before the game, he got hurt. So coach is like, Benson's down. You're up on third downs, Max. And like I remember my confidence level, like leading up to that game, like I was at my lowest of lowest. So I felt like I couldn't play in the league. Like we played the Vikings the week before, bro. I had the worst game of my career. Like I was like, I don't know if I could do this shit. But then I just kept working. I showed the practice that week, fuck it, I'm gonna go hard. And then I got an opportunity like that. I've started ever since. And that was like my breakout. I got to go out there, force a fumble, batted a few balls, fucking bunch of pressure, shit like that. And then that was it.
I love that answer,
crazy.
bro.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Was there a guy, or has there been a guy, maybe your rookie year you lined up across, you're like, holy shit, like that's Trent Williams, or like, you know what I mean? Did you have that moment at least where you're like, fuck, I'm actually here, like I'm on the field with Trent Williams or so and so?
Yeah, I just feel like it started in camp. Like when I first got to OTAs and shit, I'm going against Trent Brown. You got AB running routes there. I'm like, holy fuck, this is sick.
What am I
I got
doing?
Vontaze Burfict telling me where to fucking line up and shit. I'm like, this is crazy. But just being on the field, like there's some guys you just realize in college, obviously everybody's good. But you get to the league, like you're like, holy fuck.
It's
like
a
there's
different
bro,
level.
you got Dalvin Cook. Like people don't talk about him a lot, but like I talk about that the week before Indianapolis, we played Minnesota. Like, bro, he ran through like 3 tackles of mine. Like this motherfucker is like a missile. I'm like, I've never felt a running back
Dalvin
run through
Cook.
me like that. Like that shit was different. And you're playing Derrick Henry, seeing all these big motherfuckers. I'm like, yeah, this is different. This is a different animal. This is not college. This is not Eastern Michigan. But I knew I belonged. It took. I think the mental part of it was the most important.
What about that when you get picked up by the Raiders, that legacy and the culture of what the Raider organization represents and means, like as a whole, right? Like it comes with something huge.
Yeah.
And when you look back at like the previous Raiders, like who's a guy that you really like hang your hat on when you watch their old school kind of Raider guys that played?
Yeah, I think for me, like I truly believe everything happens for a reason. You get put in certain positions for a reason, and that when the Raiders, it's crazy. Like I could show you guys after the show, but I thought I was gonna be a top 100 pick. Like in my head, I'm like, I'm going top 100, whatever. First 2 days go by, like I had the news people in my house in Texas, I had my whole family. Second day comes, we're like to the last couple of picks of the third round, and I didn't get drafted. So now I'm like, fuck. Like I'm in like panic mode. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck?
You were like 105 or 106.
I went 106.
Yeah.
106. So I went like first couple picks of the day 3. But like that's a long fucking night. You sit there all day. You're like, damn, I have a chance to get picked here. You got coaches like scouts and shit texting you, hey, there's a possibility you go here, and then they don't draft you, and you're like, you start going nuts. Fuck. And day 3, like you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. The picks are going fast. You could go from 4 to 7 quick. Yep. And I didn't know. Like I had a DUI in college. I'm 245 pound scrawny white dude. Like I'm like, damn. I started thinking all the negative shit. But it's funny that night. Like I was so fucking mad, and I was with Rachel. I walked the fuck out of my party after that at my parents' house. I get in the car and I'm just like, fuck. Like I'm just yelling out loud, like, fuck, like what the fuck? And I didn't want to talk to nobody. I'm like, we're going to get some food. Drove, got Burger King, fucked some Burger King up. I called my agent and I'm like, bro, the fucking Raiders, they got I think they had 103 and 106. They had the first pick and then the 106. And I was like, the whole draft process, they didn't say shit to me. Really? I didn't talk to Gruden one time, not to Mayock, nobody. But my agent from day one, he was like, Gruden and Mayock fucking love you. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, they haven't hit me up, nothing, whatever. He's like, every time I talk to them, they fucking love you. Like your film, my productions, I had a lot of shit ton of production in college, but it was just like, for some reason, they liked me. Yeah. But I didn't know. I wasn't fully convinced yet because I never talked to them one time. And I'm like, they got 2 fucking picks here. They need another DN. They need pass rushers. They lost Maxx, so they draft Clee 4th overall. Yep. But I'm like, they need another fucking end. Like they didn't have anybody at the time. I'm like, I have the text still. I'm like, I text my agent. I'm like, the Raiders. I go, fucking 106. They're fucking picking me. I swear to God, blah, blah, blah. I still got the screenshot to this day. And they literally drafted me at 106. And it just felt right. I was like, me, Raiders, fucking, it makes too much sense. Like, it makes too much. I don't even have to explain it. Like, it felt like it was just meant to be. And, yeah, bro, it's been a hell of a ride.
What were you growing up? What kind of fan were you, like team-wise?
I was a rabid Detroit Lion fan.
No way.
Really?
Detroit Lions are my team. I grew up in Michigan, so
everybody's about to say Max wants to go to
no,
Detroit.
he's getting
Oh, it's all right. They've been saying it already.
That's been 2 years.
They've been saying that.
They'll do another one, but it's bro. Trust me, they're rabid about it.
What you wearing? You wearing?
I mean,
Hawaii blue.
Wait, how
It's over.
Because you went from Michigan to Texas, right?
Yeah.
So how old were you when you guys?
I was in Michigan from when I was born to when I was 10 years old, and then. So my dad, he was in the mortgage business and stuff at the time, and everything literally crashed. So we literally had to leave. My dad took off. He was going to Florida, Texas, looking for a job. My grandpa lived in Texas. I had an uncle, a little family out in Florida. So he was just literally trying to find work. So I'm back at the house in Michigan. We knew we had to leave. Like we literally had like 3 months until we had to get out the house. And I was just there with my mom, my brother, my sister, and we ended up going to Texas. So we moved in with my grandpa. He had 1-story. Little suburb of Fort Worth. It's like 7 of us in a fucking little house. Me, my brother, sister in the same room. Yeah. Like it was different. It was hard, but I lived in Texas for middle school and high school, and then I ended up getting one offer, and it happened to be Eastern Michigan. So I was back in Michigan, and they were D1. Like all I wanted was to play D1. Yep. Yeah. Not one Texas school. Nobody was calling me. Wow. And I went to all these camps. Like I went to a bunch of 1AA, like FCS schools. They weren't offering me shit. And I went to Eastern's camp. I was there like, bro, it was the longest camp of my life. Like I did all the D-line shit. I did all the tight end shit. And I'm sitting there waiting. It's like dark, and they're still waiting to like talk to me after the camp. And he's like, hey, you could go back if you want, whatever. We call you tomorrow. I'm like, I'm not fucking leaving without an offer. I literally got in the car with my mom, my brother, my family, and drove from Texas all the way to Michigan, like in a fucking van, bro. Like I'm getting a fucking offer. I'm not leaving. And I didn't even know if I was going to get offered, but I needed to see you in person before you tell me, like, I'm not waiting for a phone call because I already went through that. And I'm waiting up there. Boom, got my offer. I was fucking crying like a baby, but that was it for me. I was like, it's perfect. I just need an opportunity. D1, like they were the worst D1 team in college football, literally. Like they were about to shut the program down. But I was like, it convinced me. I'm like, shit, I can come here, change this shit around. And I'm back in Michigan. I got a ton of family in Michigan. I was like, I jumped all over that. Once I got that offer, I committed, and that was it, bro. So yeah, I grew up diehard Michigan, everything. Like that's what pisses me off too. I talked about this recently, but like I was diehard Lions fan. Like I would make my dad, I would fucking sit there and cry like a baby. Like take me to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's like I'm not I got shit to, I'm like, I need to go to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the Lions. I would beg every Sunday, bro. I'm by myself, only Lions fan in Texas watching this shit.
No.
I'm a Piston fan. Like I'm a diehard. Like that's my personality. So now of course, like we struggled when being a Lions fan as I was a kid. Now I'm in the league, and my cousins and shit want to act like they're diehard Lions fans, and my brother and all that. I'm like, y'all are so fake. You were not like that when we were growing up. Like I was the fucking fan, and now they're good. And they're like, they get mad at me. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, I hope they fucking lose.
We got
I'm
a
like,
bunch of Lion
fuck you
fans
guys
in the gym.
Oh my god, bro.
And
And that's what I'm from there.
All
though.
from Michigan.
Yeah,
they're
from
all
Michigan. I'm like,
boys.
y'all didn't start rooting for them like that until they got good. Like, I was the only ones, lone soldier, fucking going through that shit. And y'all didn't give a damn about the Lions, so
So when
I
you
always
start-
give them shit about it.
Our Lions fans been there through all the shit years.
Yeah, they've been like-
they go, they rock their shit. They'll take
I
it,
love
bro. In their fucking 0-2 win seasons,
Yeah.
they're still
Still
wearing
rocking
their
their Lions
fucking
shit.
what
Dennis,
do they call it?
shout out to
Honolulu
Dennis.
Blue.
Yeah. Honolulu
Dennis,
Blue.
Justin James.
Honolulu
the
Blue.
boys,
Honolulu
the
Blue,
boys.
Yeah.
So when you get drafted by the Raiders, like that was, I grew up. I wasn't a Raiders fan, but my favorite player of all time was Jack Tatum.
Yeah.
So there was a culture, there was a mystique about the Raiders that I loved. I love Jack Tatum's book. They call me the Assassin.
Yeah.
And if you ever read that book, it's, the culture of what these guys were breeding back then.
Yeah.
Sometimes my dad always jokes around. He's like, you're actually the John Madden of MMA. Like you deal with these fucking characters.
Jack Tatum was actually
So
my
my
first
old man was
jersey.
a D coordinator. My uncle was a linebackers coach. They used to go up to camp all the time with Lester Hayes, Skip Thomas, and those guys.
yeah.
And
Savages.
so that culture. But funny story. So my oldest daughter's 17 now. Her name's McKenna. We're my wife's pregnant. We're writing out lists of names. You write your five, and we come together, and she's like, "Oh, Tatum, I love that name. Number one on my list.
Yeah.
That's a great name. That's beautiful. Where'd you get that name? Oh, babe, my favorite player of all time,
Yeah.
Jack Tatum.
This assassin.
This guy's awesome.
Savage.
He paralyzed the guy one time. She's like, I just watched her just close her eyes and just fucking red line. Tatum is gone. Gone. I'm like, what about middle name? We do a middle name. She goes, no, just don't never
We're
again.
not putting that on our daughter.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Never again. So old school Raiders,
Yeah.
guys that like Howie Long. Who are your like guys that you talk to? Maybe that you just love the fact that these guys are part of that culture.
Yeah, there's so many names I could name. I mean, that's what sold me. Like when the Raiders drafted me, I got a call. It was fucking John Gruden on the phone. I'm like,
Fuck yeah.
I literally still have the call out there. I'm like, I'm your fucking guy. I'm telling you,
Hell
I'm your
yeah.
guy. And you think about the Raiders, like it's the same thing like when I went to Eastern. I'm like, I want to be a part of the change. Like we've been struggling for so long. That's why like I'm so fucking passionate and people feel my fucking emotion because, bro, this is my world. Like they don't understand how much I fucking put into it. You could think but like, bro, I put my fucking my everything into it. So it's like, yeah, I could get fucking frustrated at times because I want to fucking win. I'm a winner at heart. Like I'll fucking die on the field, bro. Like I don't give a fuck. I'll put my everything into it. So that's what sold me on being the Raiders. You see guys like fucking, Charles Woodson to Ted Hendricks to fucking Howie Long. These dudes are legends. Like they were literally the bad boys of the league. And like growing up, I seen the bad like I was obviously not alive at the time, but like the bad boy Pistons, like that mystique. Like you see those the baddest motherfuckers,
Cracking
the Bill
heads,
Laimbeer
man.
cracking fucking skulls. Like that's who I am at heart. So like when I got drafted there, I'm like I want to be the motherfucker to come here and change it. And like I still in my heart believe and know I can be a part of that change. And like that's why you got to take what comes with it because people are going to doubt, and the negativity is real around the Raiders just as much as the mystique, and we haven't won in a long time, you know what I mean? So people love to fucking throw some gas on the fire.
Sure.
So it just lights a bigger fire in me. Like, that's what pushes me. So guys like that, like, bro, Jack Tatum, Howie Long, fucking, I mean,
George
it goes on.
Atkinson.
George Atkinson, that's my guy. George Atkinson's my guy. Me and him are fucking boys. Like, he's a fucking legend. Those dudes didn't give a fuck. That's
Does
how I
not
look
get
at
the
it.
credit that he
No.
deserves as one of the hardest hitting free safeties to ever live, George Atkinson. Like that
Bro,
dude
he
was
had
the
dudes in fear.
hammer.
Go watch the Lynn Swan interview talking about George. That motherfucker went to court because he got his fucking head taken off. Like, those
100%.
dudes were different,
The
bro.
Steelers sued the Raiders
Yes.
for hitting too hard.
Yeah.
George in there with some fucking buffs on talking
Remember
shit
that
in the
they
interview.
talk
He
about
didn't
the
give a damn.
bounties because Tatum and Atkinson had these bounties in the book.
Yeah,
You got to
that-
read that book, man. It's an amazing.
That shit was
amazing
real.
book.
That shit was
Yep,
real,
they're trying
bro.
to take motherfuckers' heads off.
But yeah, it's just legendary, bro.
Jack Tatum hitting Earl Campbell on the goal line, knocked him out cold,
Slept him. Slept him.
knocked him out.
Speaking of like you're so committed to this, like you want to be part of the change, like moving into 2025 season, like what do you want to see from the organization, from players? Like I know that's a loaded question, but like you know, you yourself as a leader, what do you want to see moving forward from this organization?
Yeah, I just, we talked about stability. Obviously, that's important. Pete Carroll brings that. He's one of 4 coaches to win a Natty and a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That shit alone that puts him in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? He's been a winner his whole life. So people can say whatever the fuck they want, but the guy has won everywhere he's been. So that's something you can't take away from him. So for me, it's like, obviously there's some question marks. You know what I mean? What's the defense going to look like? Who's the D coordinator? Who's the offense coordinator? Who's going to be the quarterback? There's a ton of question marks. But yeah, for me, it's you got guys like Pete Carroll, Tom Brady, a lot of dudes who have won at the highest level. So
Formula's
but
there.
yeah, the people that know how to win, and that's why I just been sitting back. Like I can't control everything as much as I want to and do all that. Like that's one thing my sobriety has taught me is you have no control. Once you let go, life is a lot better.
And we just
that's
kind of
what
talked
I'm
about
doing.
this earlier. You got a team right now playing an NFC championship game with a couple small pieces. Not small, but a couple pieces here and there.
Yeah.
You go from a top 2 pick into the NFC championship game. So we know how fast this league can change.
I get so
or turn over.
irritated when I see Brian Kelly had Jaden, Brian Thomas, and Malik Neighbors for 2 years. The
What does that say about Brian Kelly,
motherfucker
pal?
made it to the Ocean Spray Cranberry.
What does that say about Brian
Like,
Kelly,
what the
bud?
fuck, bro? Come on,
Brian
man.
Kelly. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's crazy,
But
though.
yeah,
It's
Jaden's
crazy.
balling. But you're right. Dan Campbell, new ownership. I mean, not Dan Campbell. Dan Quinn,
Dan
new
Quinn.
ownership, and Jaden. And it's like,
Like that.
Boom.
Yep.
And you bring in Bobby Wagner on defense,
Yep.
leaders, Frankie Louvu. Like
how
they
about
did
Baker?
it the right way.
You
man.
see Baker truck Bobby in the wild card game, bro. That shit was crazy.
Baker's a dog. I
Baker's
fuck
awesome.
with Baker.
Baker's
I
a
fuck
guy
with
that I feel like every kid should look at and be
Yes.
like, that's how you fucking attack the league. Like,
Bro,
he was left for dead.
he was left for
how many
dead.
times?
Yep.
Carolina, LA, left for dead, and been balling, and now still unfortunately he's going to be on like his 9th OC in 9 years. But fucking,
He still finds a way,
still
bro.
finds a way,
All
man.
it takes is one person to believe in you, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. And that
Yeah.
shit is so powerful. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
When I got drafted, there was no other teams really. I was convinced they were going to draft me, but Gruden fucked with me. And that was all I needed. I was like, if John Gruden believes in me,
That's all that matters.
I'll be good. Same with fighting. You probably had some fighters that go through some mental shit. I'm not a good enough striker. I'm not this or I'm not that. You have one motherfucker that truly will sell out and be like, no, you are that motherfucker.
Yeah.
That shit goes such a long way. You see, it's the same thing with Tua. When Mike McDaniel, bro, they were about to say Tua's a bust. He's done. Blah 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 blah. Mike McDaniel, the first thing he did is like, no, I got every great throw you threw in college, and we're gonna put this and implement it in our system. You're going to be a Pro Bowler, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Like that shit's important, bro.
Tell
It
the
goes a
story
long
about
way.
Sean. I don't know if you said that, but when he fought Izzy, how like he was nervous, and to his point about believing.
Yeah,
in
I mean,
something.
I think Sean's a great example in a lot of ways because, I wouldn't say Sean was a journeyman fighter, right? Sean had a lot of good success, even at 170.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just something clicks, right? Like you maybe get in a weight class or a division or a team where you surround yourself with certain individuals. But yeah, man, Manel wins his fight. I go in the back. We got a fight between us. I think it was like Volkov and who was it? Ty. Yeah.
Tuivasa.
And then Sean was the main event. And dude, I walked into a funeral. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on back here? Like I don't want to come into we get that quite a bit. I might have 2-3 guys on a card. So whether we win or lose, I don't want to come in too high or too low. I just want to get back to neutral.
Yeah.
But I remember feeling that energy, and I walked in the room, and Sean's warming up, and dude, it was like fucking, tight. And I looked around, I kind of felt the room a little bit, and there was like 5 or 6 of us in the room. We're main event. No one else is in the room. No one else is warming up. I was like, hey, motherfucker, like, it don't matter. It's the 5 of us believe that's all that fucking matters.
Period.
You know, and I just kind of started going in on him, you know, and I was like, hey, dude, like, we're playing with house money. We're in the position that no one in this fucking world but us believes we can win this fight.
Yeah.
And I said, so let's go in there and be a fucking dog and go take this away from this guy. And
yeah.
he's like, you could see him just kind of like start like getting it, and he goes, looks right at me, and he's like, to the death, coach, to the fucking death. And I'm like, all right, let's roll, dude.
100%.
You know, and first round, he went out there and fucking
Yeah.
dropped him, and like,
And after that first round, his
now we're in the
confidence
fight.
To the moon.
Now we're in the fucking
I'll
fight.
never forget that text, bro. We were in Saudi Arabia because Francis was fighting Fury.
Yeah.
And like a couple weeks later. So it's like 4 a.m. when that fight, 3 a.m. when that fight's happening. And I wake up and Eric sends me a text. Just a shrug emoji. I was
Well,
like,
MJ,
I
yeah.
looked at it. I was like, no fucking way. And I like got on my computer and watched the fight.
Then we
and I was
did
like,
it.
holy shit.
Oh yeah,
Crazy.
it was funny because like we're about you know, we got the fight announced.
Yep.
And Francis is like,
Yeah, 'cause that's
"You
his
ain't-
boy. Izzy's
You
his
ain't got a
boy."
Yeah.
fucking
Even though he trains with
chance. You ain't got a fucking and Francis went in on me a little bit, like kind of back, you know, and I was just kind of like, all right, motherfucker, we got you, bro, whatever. Like you're my brother, but whatever, you know. And then I got in the car and I got a call from him. He was like, hey man, Francis was like, yo, bro, I was out of line. Like I shouldn't have. He goes, I know that, you know, I want to see you win, like you're my coach,
Yeah.
but you know, but he ain't got no shot, you know.
Yeah.
So the moment I landed, I got, to, you know, I showed up to Saudi Arabia. I was like, this to Francis.
Yeah.
He's like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Don't ever doubt us, bro.
I love that.
Speaking of, how's Sean feeling? Big fight in a couple weeks with Dricus.
He's actually doing well, man. Like I feel like he's doing well. I feel like he's doing the right things. You know, we sat and kind of talked to him about where we felt some of the things not necessarily went wrong, but things that we could have done better.
Yeah.
And again, we I say this word, I hammer this word, but optics is the word, man.
Yeah.
And it's a thing that you have to paint a little bit of a better picture for the judges.
Yeah.
He understands those things, but I think his kind of aha moment was he doesn't watch tape. You know, and I mean, we all come from football. We watch fucking tape. And I made him watch the last fight. And we get done with the fight, and I kind of look up at him, and I can see him like stewing, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, you got outdogged. And he's like, I got outdogged. I fucking got outdogged. He goes, I got to be a bigger dog. I was like, there you go. If we could take anything away from that fight, whether it's technique or this or that, you know, Dricus looked like he was doing more. And Sean knows that he can be a bigger dog in this fight. We can win. And not only we can win, we can get him out of there.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to need that. We're going to need that.
Brad, have you been
That's
doing
what
some
he said.
rounds with Sean? And like, how's the sparring training going with him?
I haven't sparred with him too much. We fucked around like a couple of weeks ago with the average Joes, but no, yeah, he been looking good. Like with Sean, it's funny. I always tell where he's at by his physical appearance.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that because I don't know exactly like what to expect from him by how his body looks, because he always spars with his shirt off, right? So I can always see his body, and then outside of camp he'll be like, this fucker gets big,
A little
bro.
pudgy.
Yeah,
Big.
he gets big. Yeah, a little bit rounder.
Yeah.
And then he's always one of those guys that is always in shape. Like he can always go, but then there's like a different shape to him when you know, like you pick it up in fight camp. And then so just lately, these last couple weeks, I've been seeing him a little bit slimmer. And so I know, like, okay, now, you know, he's picking it up, ramping it up. I know he's probably running and doing all of that more. But yeah, he seems very relaxed, I would say, actually. He hasn't seemed like too worked up or pent up or any of that shit.
Max, you going out there? You come to Sydney, bro?
I wish. I wish. No, I'm gonna be watching though. I'm excited.
Yeah, no,
you guys
I'm
know
excited too.
Strickland is. I mean, I'm
That's your boy.
such a big fan, bro.
Yeah.
I'm such a big fan since fucking Apex days. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, we you know, we fucking duked it out. He fucking smacked the shit out of me a few times. My fucking nose is all destroyed.
You caught him though. You
I
got
caught
a
him
little
cold.
blood on him.
Yeah, I got a little blood. I mean, it was violent as fuck. But I love that dude. I mean, his mentality, like, he's fucking out there. He's sideways as fuck, but like, that's who he is. So I gotta respect.
He's our
There's a lot of
Richie
people that try to.
Incognito, man.
Yeah, there's
He's our
people that
Richie.
fake it like they're tough guy. Like Sean doesn't give a fuck, and
Yeah.
that's
Bro.
what I love about him. He doesn't care.
I think I'm not even joking. You can ask Eric. I'm literally the only guy that liked him when he first like started coming around more. Bro, like
I believe
everybody on the team like didn't like him, and I was like, why? I was like, he's a good training partner, this and that. And they're like, bro, it was more so like how he is. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, like you fucking, if you just take him for what he is, like that's just how he is. Just accept him for that. Bro, he's a fucking great dude.
Yeah.
And granted, he is very like abrasive and
Yeah.
says shit
A little bit.
probably not how he should say it sometimes.
But we're
and he's actually fucking worked on that. He's like, it blows my mind. Like I don't know if you guys seen the other day I posted him fucking coaching the girls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, look at this fucker.
he's
And they say
growing.
he don't like women, right?
Yeah.
And he's over there coaching them up. He's like, bro, I can't fucking stand seeing them do shit wrong. I gotta show them. But yeah, and now fucking fast forward a couple years and bro, like everybody knows exactly how he is and what to expect, and they get now that just because he says shit in such like a fucking dick way, he's not trying to be a dick.
No.
That's
wants what's
just
best for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's just how he like. He's calling you a pussy to try and push you. Like
Yeah.
you
He
don't
is.
need to get fucking offended.
He's not coming from a bad place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and bro, and everybody sees that now, and everybody sees now that he is one of our greatest training partners and teammates and assets to the team.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the reason why you and I feel that way about him, because we're throwbacks. And we've had guys like that in our gym.
Yeah.
The majority of the gym were all fucking, they were meat eaters,
Yeah.
right? The Jay Herons, those guys, the Mike Piles. And Sean would have thrived in that environment, and he would have been rubbing shoulders with all of his equals back then.
Yeah.
And we're still carryovers from that generation. So when we see Sean, we're like, oh, this is kind of what we do need versus the new generation of fucking can't say this, can't do this.
No, it's real shit.
Yeah.
It's
You
the
know?
same way in football.
Fucking
Bro, it's the
cancel
same way in
culture.
football. Like you have your guys that have done it and been there and been through the fucking trenches. You got a lot of young guys, a lot of these dudes who got to be. They're not expecting to see crazy shit on the field. Like I'm coming from seeing Richie. Like Richie, if you fuck with Richie, he will rip your helmet off and beat the fuck out of you. Like
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Like I've gotten into some fucking scared, like fucking some people up on the field. They look at me like I'm fucking nuts. I'm like, oh shit. Like I need to chill a little bit. 'Cause
yeah.
I'm the only one. When you're
Right.
the only one, it's kind of like that. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
this dude's fucking sideways. Like I'm so used to seeing these motherfuckers like fucking
Right.
murderers out there.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, it's a different generation. You got these young guys like, Tyree and them. They're seeing me fucking go at. I don't give a fuck. We're in inner squad. I'm going at. Who's the baddest one? I'm going
Trying to
total
fight, yep.
every time. And they're like,
It's all about
you
compete.
fucking. I'm like, no, bro. Like I'm working myself up to get
Yeah.
going. Like that's what it is. You compete at that level. Like you're gonna do some crazy shit and say some crazy shit. It just is what it is.
It's like last year when you fucking smoked Mike, Big Mike.
Hey, watch this.
Big Mike.
Mike Mayer.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that shit. Yeah, but that's what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I'm talking on the sideline. I'm like, watch this shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't give a fuck where the ball was going. I didn't care. We're at the 1 yard line. I'm like, I'm going to fucking murder this dude. Like, and that's what I did. And Mike, like, he had to go through the ringer because I felt bad for him. The coaches are talking about it in the press conferences and shit. And I'm like, fuck, he's probably fucking sick about it. But like, I'm trying to help him. Like, at the end of the day, like, it's the same way. Like, I might be fucking abrasive, and I might be knee-jerk reaction sometimes, but like, if something's fucked up, like, I'm going to address it, and I might come off as like, I'm trying to fucking embarrass you, but like, you need that.
Yeah,
I
facts.
needed that.
100%.
Like, I could tell
Yeah.
you, I have an older brother, and like, having a bunch of OGs that were my guys, like, fucking, they were hard as fuck on me. And it was not easy, but like I needed that.
For good reason.
That's it. That shit, the tough love is what you need. And I feel like you said, like, I feel like things are starting to become back to normal a little bit nowadays in the world in general. But but just being real, like shit was getting so soft, and you got to be politically correct, and you got to do all this shit. Like, bro, this is football. These are grown fucking men. Same with fighting, bro. Y'all, this shit has been since the beginning of time. Two motherfuckers stand in the ring, and whoever wins wins. Like, baddest motherfucker is gonna come out on top. Like, that's how I look at it at football. It's like you're gonna line. Like, it's probably not going to be one guy. It's probably two guys, a chip or these. I don't give a fuck. You got to shoot me dead to get me out of here. Like, I'm going to fight.
Our locker rooms, like the most sacred place in the world for us to this day.
Yeah.
For us, like we talk about it all the time, and we laugh because like we're always like, that was one of my questions for you. I was like, bro, I wonder if like if Max and these guys can be the same way that we are in our locker room. It's a fucking South Park episode in our locker room, bro.
It's a fucking
like no one is safe in our locker room.
nobody.
And I love that.
Bro,
It's-
and I
it's a shit
just
show.
fuck with people. Like,
Oh my god.
like, bro, there was this guy, and they'll fucking say it is super racist, whatever. Like, bro, we just fucking with each other. But there's this kid. What was that kid from San Diego? He just signed to the UFC. He's kind of balding with the beard. He's a 205er.
Oh, Ozzy.
And he just started training with us. I never met him, and so he looks like he could almost be like from like Kazakhstan,
Right.
like you know that
Yeah,
Eurasian
yeah,
look.
Yeah.
And then, but he's American, and so anyway, they're like introducing him. Sean is introducing him, and so I go up to him, and I know that this is not their accent or whatever, but this is just who I am. I'm like, brother, do you speak English? And he's like, yeah, bro, I speak English. And I'm like, okay. And everybody's like, bro,
Like, you're
that's a
fucked.
fucking Chinese accent. I'm like, bro, you guys are like missing the fucking point. Like,
Just fucking
yeah.
Well, who's
Like-
the kid? Who's the kid that we had that came in from China, the 205er? And Sean's like, "Where are you from?" He's like,
China
China.
man.
And he goes, "All right, you're a China man. All right, let's go." and then the translator looked at me all scared. He's like, "That's really racist." I'm like, "Is it?" He's from China. He's a man. Sean's called him China man.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal? you know?
Yeah.
And then what? Like 2 weeks into it, he kept calling himself China man.
became his own identity.
Oh, dude, I love it.
Bro, I wanted
That's
to ask
funny.
you real quick, and I know we gotta wrap up soon, but you were talking about being like players today being soft and stuff like that. What is your take on how NIL has affected that? Because like I mean they should get paid all that stuff, and it I'm not interested in like the business of NIL
Yeah.
per se, but like, do you feel like them being like the big fish on campus because of the money that they're making affects like the way they react in the locker rooms at the pro level?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm, you know, when I was in college, I'm all for getting, you know, players paid and things
100%.
like that. But also at the same time, like I really didn't give a fuck. I'm like, the whole point of college is you go through that shit. Everybody's on the same level. I'm making, after I pay my apartment, like my rent, I have $900 for the month. Like, it ain't a lot of money, you know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
we're all going through the same grind together.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciated that because once I got to the league and got some money, it's like, damn, like, first time I seen $10,000, like I got from my agent when I went to train, I'm like, bro, I got money now. Dog, I got
rich,
10K.
boys, we made
I'm
it.
rich. Like, what? I can go get some shoes, a fit. But like at the same time, like it made me appreciate it. You know what I mean? I never had money my whole fucking life, so it's like, I just feel like they're missing that. These kids are getting money before they're even professionals. Yeah. I feel like it's gonna affect them in a negative way because you got to go through something to get to where you want to go. At the end of the day, if you're just being like, you can't recruit the same nowadays. Like,
Right.
you got to beg these fucking kids to come play. It used to be like, bro, getting a full ride scholarship was a big deal. And now it's like, they don't give a fuck about it. They want 100, 300K or $1 million. I'm like, bro, you see some of these dudes, I'm not going to even say names, but like, some of these dudes transfer and they're getting fucking $5-10 million and they're fucking
Bro,
trash.
Carson Beck did not get fucking 9.5. There's no way.
But that's the
No
thing that
way.
to
My
Max's
point is,
point,
to my
Yeah.
point, this dude's making $10 million,
Yeah.
or there's other guys out there, like average quarterbacks getting this money. I'm like, okay, so now he's going to go to the league. How is he going to handle adversity? You just had a bad year, and now
Right.
you're
You
giving
can't
him
be
more.
hungry if
But you
played
could hit
full
the
all
fucking
time.
portal
Yeah.
because somebody looked at you funny.
Yes.
Or oh, I'm
Anything.
second string.
Yeah.
Like how
Bro,
do you
no.
like, how do you get through any
Bro, that
adversity?
kid, what's his
You
name?
can't-
He
it's
went to
not good,
SC,
bro.
then Boise. Now
Yeah.
he just transferred to like
UTEP or something. Yeah, I was like,
UTEP.
yeah.
And he was like a 5-star. It's like, bro, compete.
Makai Nelson.
Like,
Just
Yeah.
compete.
Just
If you
compete.
want to
Yeah,
play,
compete,
you got to
yeah,
beat the
bro.
motherfucker out.
How about
it's
that
the
Texans?
same thing, bro.
You see that Texans dude that pushed his coach?
Oh, yeah,
Bro,
He
don't even
special
yeah.
teams.
That was
Special
wild.
teams.
You saw that, yeah?
bro.
That was
Yeah.
wild. I couldn't believe it.
Let me ask you
either.
this. You saw that? You see that shit on your team? Bro, I'm smashing that fucking player.
See, I don't
Listen,
know.
there's a thing of, I mean, maybe because I'm a coach's son.
Yeah.
You do that to that. There's nothing more
You can't put your hands
disrespectful.
on a coach like that.
You can never,
No.
right? That's like hitting your dad. Like,
Yeah.
no, bro.
No.
Like, I was
like
surprised.
double arm extended too.
I was
Like,
It
surprised.
not
wasn't like
fucking-
playful.
Yeah.
He
Player.
like was
Yeah.
going
Shafted
at
that
Shit
him.
out there.
motherfucker.
Yeah, he was going at him, and that is funny. This year, I had we played the Steelers. We lost at home. You probably remember this, but I was getting shit. I come off the sideline
Oh,
and
you,
I push my coach.
Yeah.
But we're boys. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
We're fucking, I'm like hype.
Hype.
I'm like trying to get people going. It was fucking ghost town. Like I just got a sack. I'm like, we stop in the red zone. I'm like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And he's like that's our relationship.
Yes.
No, that
people
dude-
take it a certain way.
Yeah.
He was like going at him.
Yeah.
I had you remember Rich Versace? He was what I talked about earlier. We had one time on the sideline. He's old school Italian. He don't give a fuck. He's this big motherfucker. Bite your face off, bro. One time, Derek Carrier comes off. One of the nicest dudes on the planet. But
The
Derek
tight
Carrier
end, right?
blocks. Yeah, tight end. He blocked a punt, and he was fucking had an outer body experience. He's losing his mind. He's so happy. And he goes up to Rich and pushes him on the sideline. And Rich low-key like got caught off guard. Rich turned and fucking closed fist with a helmet and socked him right in the fucking. Bro, they caught this shit in slow motion on TV. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen. I love it. But like I feel the same way. Like unless y'all like you get it, like you have that relationship with your coach. You're talking like, but. There's there's a line that can't be crossed. Like if you're pushing your coach, like the way he was going at that coach, like it looked like he wanted to fucking
Yeah, that looked aggressive.
yeah, like it was
he's
like
trying to
there was
scrap.
something behind that. So
Yeah, that
Did they
looked-
say
it was
anything
weird.
about the situation? Anything else? Like I never heard anything else. Come
I never
about
heard.
that.
I didn't hear anything.
No,
Yeah.
I seen
I
the
don't-
video and dead. That was
Yeah.
it.
Well, the thing it just made it look even worse is like he was losing his mind. Probably the coach said, you know, we need to force a fumble or some shit, or giving him shit about it. He forced the fumble. He's running to the sideline. He didn't even know that the ball had been recovered.
Right.
The Chiefs still got the ball.
Right.
He was so out of having an outer body experience. He ran while the play was still going to go at the coach, and the Chiefs still got the ball. So he thought he like forced this fumble and did it. Did all this big
So was
crazy
that?
shit.
Was he celebrating?
It
was
was
he happy.
He was clearly there must have been like the coach was on his ass about you need to fucking take the
'Cause they
ball
gave
away or
off a
something.
big return.
Got you.
Yeah,
It was a
'cause-
big return.
Yeah, no, I remember
It was
that.
a big return, and then he forced a fumble.
Yep.
So it was probably a mixture of like he's hyped, but at the same time, like the coach was on. It's been on his ass about some shit. So
Max, we gotta be respectful of your time, man.
Yeah.
But
it is.
I gotta get
12:30.
you rolling, but we gotta
Yeah.
ask. Give me Super Bowl picks.
Yeah, Super Bowl pick.
Super Bowl. I think it's gonna be
7-3 Philly right now.
Fuck the
7-3.
Chiefs.
I think it's gonna be Philly. Buffalo pulls the upset.
Let's go.
Let's
Bucks.
go.
But I think Philly low-key wins the whole
I have a
thing.
25-1.
I just their O-line, D-line, dominant. Saquon's on a mission. I feel like Philly.
Bro,
wins.
anybody but the Chiefs.
Amen.
I fucking
Amen.
I
hate
don't
the
mind greatness
Chiefs.
though, man. Like
I don't
I'm in
almost
the
says that.
minority.
No,
but, like,
fuck that.
Brady, when he was winning, I'm
bro,
like,
I
like
hate
greatness,
them.
Bro, like, let's
Brady
see him
was
do it.
okay.
You gotta
He
respect
wasn't
them.
in our
Yeah.
division.
Oh, I mean that's true.
I hate
Yeah,
them
yeah,
almost
fair
as
enough.
much as I love the Raiders.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
I hate all the teams in our division. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking hate them all.
Yeah.
Chargers,
should.
Broncos, Chiefs.
Yep.
Hey,
Brad, you got anything for Max?
Nah, bro. Fucking, I loved hearing that about that was like my big question was I just wanted to know about your sobriety, what really brought it about. Because I've had like some aha shit, you know. I mean, I'm not like I've never been like an alcoholic, but I do know that like this guy knows, he's seen me. I had to chill out.
Yeah.
I've had aha moments. And then, bro, just hearing I think that's what makes you so great is the fact that you're never satisfied. You know what I mean? You're fucking comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah. I really love that answer too.
Yep.
When we talked about that, it's like just whatever's back here is no longer. It's what's moving forward.
Always.
I love that mentality. I feel the same way. You know, I had the honor of speaking to my daughter's dance team, who's 4-time national champs, and they're like, "What's the best title you've ever won?" I said, "The next one."
The next one.
The next one, man. That's the best one. you know?
100%.
So I love that mentality, bro.
Amen.
Can't thank you enough for coming on the show, bro. You are, I think, what exudes the Las Vegas Raiders. Being born and raised in Las Vegas, we couldn't be more proud of having a representative like yourself leading this team. Can't thank you enough for being in here.
Hell yeah.
Randy?
Yeah, that's it, man. Just thank you for doing the show. Really appreciate it. We love watching you. And to Eric's point, you represent the city well, the Raiders well, and hopefully they correct some things and keep the people that really lead that franchise in house and turn the ship around. I'm confident with Brady, Carrol, you obviously. But yeah, can't thank you enough for coming on the show. Really appreciate your time and yeah, thank you.
Hey man, I appreciate you boys. This is dope, and we'll have to do this maybe once a year or something, and
Definitely.
come
Hell
back.
yeah.
This shit's legendary. I appreciate you boys.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Well, that does it for another episode of Verse Us with Eric Nicksick. Please make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Leave a comment below. Let us know who you want to see on the show, any topics you have for the show. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to The Rush with Maxx Crosby on YouTube and follow them on social media. Also, follow our show on social media at VSUS Pod across all socials. And make sure you download the audio version of the podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasts at. For Eric and Brad and Max, I'm Randy. We'll see you guys next time.